Oh, well, everybody know who I want next. I want Terrence Crawford next.
You're going to make that happen?
Huh?
You're going to make that happen?
Oh, definitely. That's the fight that I want. That's the fight everybody else want. Like I said, I'm going to get these straps that I'm going to go over there and take his shit too.
All right. Errol, congratulations. Terrific fight this evening.
Thank you, man. Down. Strap season. Y'all know what time it is, baby. Terrence, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt.
All right.
I'm not catching fades anymore. Gotta keep my hands clean when they come for the ball. Keep it smooth like a dawn, making moves in the dark. Cause I learned how to swim in the pool full of sharks. Now they coaches, cause they can't read all his motions. How the kid never switch codes, but he code switch focus. Staring down your team with a frozen, ice cold look that could end the summer solstice. Cause I'm more like the top dog. Keep on running game and the gang will accost y'all. I be calling plays from a plane while I'm off court. But we ain't the same, you a lame, I'm a mob star. Actually, I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athlete. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me. Cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pull strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode. I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, God vibes, I'm the kingpin. They know I'm a dog and a beast, man. Yeah, I keep the peace with a piece, man. I ain't got no time for a piece, man. Why would I respond to a pawn? I'm the... Hold up.
If I let my dogs off the leash, they be my one to get out of dogs while they eat me. Honestly, they can smell the blood and the beat, and they don't leave anything behind that they eat.
I can see you soft, ever thought about retreating. If you never have, then they'll give you a reason. Better watch your tone, lose your bass when you speaking. Underneath the mask is the wrath of a... When you learn how to smile in their face, then go cutthroat. Then they wanna call you a con when the blood cold. I remember starving while y'all had a truckload. Now I'm with the mob with the call and the gusto. I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athlete. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me. Cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pull strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode. I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, God vibes, I'm the kingpin.
Yeah, I saw it. What's going on, Devon? What's going on, Mr. AMG in the building? What's going on, M Banks Unfiltered? What's happening, my brothers? You know, man, what the hell? What the hell was that? You know, I respect Tank. Don't get me wrong, man. You know, I joke around and stuff, but, one thing about Tank, you know, he's a real fighter. A man, all a man got is his respect in life, his word and his respect. Boxers come from humble backgrounds. They didn't, a lot of boxers didn't go to school, and there's a lot of things you could pick at, but you can't pick at their courage in the ring. There's a lot of things they've earned over time, a lot of respect. Um, I thought looking at this press conference, no energy. It was a spectacle. It was just flat. It was totally flat. It wasn't no pageantry. It was just this nigga, this blonde haired dude in the clowning, right? And we all got. I'm pretty sure that most people got a price. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying I wouldn't have took the money. You know what I'm saying? Because you can always get a sideshow. You can always put yourself in a sideshow when you're a star and your popularity's up. I get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? You cash in, this might be a cash out fight for Tank, but why would you want to go out like this? You know what I'm saying? Why would you want to? I mean, you can always get that money afterwards. You know what I'm saying? after a big fight, go out there, beat up Lamont Roach. Why go in there with questions, what I'm saying, over your career, and I have no doubts that Tank could beat uh, Lamont Roach. I don't think Lamont Roach, I just think he was on that night, and I think Tank was off. I think wherever headspace that Tank is in right now, you can see he's in a funk. It's almost like he needs therapy or something. You know what I'm saying? Because even he was so flat in that press conference, man. It was like he wasn't even there. He was just going through the motions. And I'm just like, man, clearly this is a man that's here for a paycheck. That's it. Tank was like, just where the money at? He barely wanted to say what he had to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, he's a big guy, and I have to, be careful of his reach. And I was like, where's the energy? This man don't give a fuck about this fight. You know what I'm saying? He do not care about this fight. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not really a fight. There's no pressure, on Tank. If Tank loses this fight, it's no big deal. I mean, because what they're going to say, this man is a damn cruiserweight. You know what I'm saying? Even if he go out there and get knocked out somehow, because Jake might be trying to embarrass him. He might try to go out there and embarrass him, even though I don't think he could do Tank like that. But the disrespect, that Jake Paul, I know he's a troll and everything. I know he be trolling and stuff, so I know that's his MO, but, bringing up the I can't read just because he stumbled on some bullshit acronym, MVP or whatever. He was there to push Gervonta Tank Davis button. This ain't even a real fight. And then call him Gervonta. You know what I'm saying? I was like, bro, it's like, why would you open yourself up to a clown like this? I know Gervonta Tank Davis wanted to bust his ass in the mouth. I know he did. Because the shit was disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? It was disrespectful as hell. Um, and that's the thing about these kind of sideshows. It don't really count as a fight. It don't really count. But you got to sit up there and listen to somebody talking about you want to see clowns, and you got two clowns come out. It's like, what the hell was that? What was that? Two clowns come out. I'm just like, bro, what am I looking at? You know. And then all Gervonta Tank Davis, has come back, your outfit is trash. Anybody who wear mohawk is a clown. I just thought the shit was hilarious, bro. I mean, what's going on, Master Khalid? What's going on, Keenan? What's happening, man? Yeah. It's like, bro, Tank, you are a respected boxer. You are a star in real boxing in real time. In real time, man, you the shit. You know what I'm saying? We looking for you to fight the big names. You know what I'm saying? All we want to see you fight is like 3 more people. And you good, bro. You keep acting like somebody wants you to fight Godzilla. These are your peers, people that you grew in boxing with, right? And I respect everything Tank done. Even the fights that he had, it's cool. But for some reason, the pressure, I don't know if Tank is on these boxing channels, or he's on the internet, like looking at what everybody is saying about him. That's his problem. He stay on social media. There's a lot of boxers that don't even watch social media. You got to stay away from social media because social media have you second guessing yourself. What's up, Jeff? What's going on, Jeff? There's social media. I have you, going insane with the criticism, bro. You know what I'm saying? If a boxer or anybody says, I don't care about what people think, Terrence Crawford, clearly they care about what people think. Clearly they do because it gets to them. You can see it. They be eating up about this shit, what I'm saying, about what people are saying. Why, if you didn't care what people think, then go ahead and do your fight, man, and stop whining about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Stop worried about what other people are saying about you. It would be apparent, the whole thing, like you say, the whole thing is a joke, bro. It's cringe. That's what I'm saying. The shit is cringe. It's like, Man, why would you subject yourself to a clown like this, bro? Knowing that this dude won't fight, he should be fighting David Benavidez. That's who he should be fighting. Won't he go in there with David Benavidez with that same kind of energy? This man is 135 pounds. You know what I'm saying? A little dude. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to talk shit to somebody who's small. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to talk shit, but fight somebody your own age, just like Carissa Shields told Jake Paul a while ago. He said, now, if you fight, a real fighter in real time, you go out there and fight a Bivol. You know what I'm saying? You go out there and fight a Beterbiev or Yard, Anthony Yard. You know what I'm saying? Fight somebody of your own caliber, your own size, and then we could say, okay, Jake Paul go out there, he do well, against somebody's own size. Then you could come back and do little sideshows or whatever, little exhibition or whatever. But what is going on with the mindset of Tank? What's going on in his head? Because right now it looked like he is nowhere near boxing. He is not in boxing form. Boxing is not on his mind. I mean, is he even training for this fight? You know what I'm saying? Which is really not a fight. You know what I'm saying? Is he really training for this shit? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are we going to see on Friday? I got to see this sideshow. You're going to drop in and watch it just to see how it turns out. You know what I'm saying? Is it going to be a bunch of short people running around? You know what I'm saying? Coming out, you know what I'm saying? All the little short jokes. He was asked a lot of questions, about how is he training. And he's talking about, he brought his 8-year-olds out and they were hitting him in the knees. And I was like, okay, you got jokes. You got jokes. And I think that reflects on real boxing because Tank is one of the faces of boxing, right? He's one of the top dudes that really representing, for boxing. And, when you got somebody, this is a mockery. This is what this is. This is a damn mockery of the sport. It's like, why can't we get a serious fight out of Tank? What is it about social media and people saying what they say about these fighters? What is it about him? Why can't he ignore the shit? Why can't he do like all the other fighters that when they had enough, they don't want to read the shit, they didn't turn it off. You don't have to go to the boxing news to see what they're saying about you. You could just go straight to the gym, go home. You could go on, you know, Instagram. You don't have to scroll on anything that says Gervonta Tank Davis or however they feel about you, right? You got that. You got that power, you know. So I don't understand why, he's got to be in tune to X. And let's keep it funky. Let's keep it 100% funky, y'all. He does talk shit about other fighters. He says his little slick shit too. You know what I'm saying? He talk his shit too. When Devin Haney got beat up, he said he had something to say. You know what I'm saying? When Ryan got knocked out, he had something to say. You know what I'm saying? When anytime any fighter he don't like get beat up, he come in and he got something to say. He say something slick, you know. So I don't understand why he can't keep that same energy. People are gonna always have something to say because you are a star, right? That's what happens when you're a star. People are gonna run their mouth, right? It don't matter if you got people that support you and you got people who are against you that want to see you lose. That's just life. That's just life. How is that affecting you? You know, it affects you if you all up in it. That's one thing, that's one of the criticisms I have of Shakur Stevens, right? Stevenson. He's always on social media. If he wasn't on social media so goddamn much, then he could probably go and fight more fights, right? You know what I'm saying? Maybe he could get better fights if he stay off goddamn social media. You know what I'm saying? All these fighters need to stay off social media and let their PR hire a PR team to do all that. And you just concentrate on your skills, you concentrate on your bills and you're handling your business. But this here, what I saw, and I don't know why when we talk about our favorite fighters, you know, Tank Davis is one of my favorite fighters. But if you say anything negative about Gervonta Tank Davis, oh my God. If you say anything negative about Devin Haney, oh my God. Bud Crawford, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? All criticism ain't going to be good. That's all I'm saying. All criticism is not going to be good. If you can't criticize these fighters, they shouldn't be in the limelight. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not going to like everybody. You're not going to like what everybody do, right? So it's like, why are they taking this shit like to the heart? You know, it's social media. And maybe because I didn't grow up with social media, it don't mean nothing like that to me, right? All the criticism don't really mean that much to me. And maybe because of my generation, you know what I'm saying, you really had to confront the motherfuckers that was criticizing you. You had to confront them. Like, they were on your ass when you hit the bus stop. They was talking about your shoes, your ass. They was talking about your jeans. They was talking about your socks. They was talking about your teeth. They was talking about your ears. They was talking about everything. So to me, you had to learn how to deal with that shit in real time, right? And you had to fight. You know what I'm saying? When you got enough of that shit, right? So these guys here, that you know, this is like cyberbullying or something. Cyberbullying. You know, they can't take the shit that's being said online. But you say toxic shit all the time, Tank. You know what I'm saying? I don't criticize him for what he says about other fighters. I don't criticize him for saying the little slick shit, then he erased the tweet. You know what I'm saying? Because like people ain't caught that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, throw a rock and hide your hand. Throw a rock and hide your motherfucking hand. I'm like, bro, get out of here with that pussy punk ass shit. Get out of here with that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, you a grown ass man now. You are 30 something years old, 30 years old, right? You're a young man. You're a great fighter, but your character, the character of some of these dudes are crazy, man. It's like, I don't get it. It's like, bro, I know some of these guys wasn't raised with fathers, but they had father figures. If you was in the gym with Kevin Ford, I'm pretty sure something rubbed off. You know what I'm saying? Something had to rub off. From Kevin Ford seemed like he an OG. Seemed like he a real OG. And the other guys around him seemed like real OGs. So something got to rub off. And I'm just like, Tank, it's like, bro, you carrying boxing literally on your back. You know what I'm saying? For the longest time. And maybe the weight was just a little bit too heavy. And I understand that, you know, it's a pressure. And he's such a big star that people have big expectations for him, right? He act like everybody want to see him lose. I don't even get where he gets that shit from. Most people I know are Tank Davis fans, right? More people are Tank Davis fans than Devin Haney fans or Shakur fans, right? So that's why he's the big star that brings in the big money. So where does he get the idea that everybody wants to see him lose? Where did he pick that shit up at? You know, when you can go to arena and fill it up and people come and pay for your tickets, and that means people love you. People want to see you. You know what I'm saying? See you fight, especially when you ain't fighting the biggest names. And they come out to see you. Every time you come out, it's like a big event, you know. That shows that the world supports you, man. It's like he's reading it wrong. And a lot of these channels that's up his ass, you know what I'm saying, in an unnatural way, you know what I'm saying? It's like they're trying to scold and police the damn rhetoric or the criticism about Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, you always got to keep it real. Just because he's mentally fragile, that ain't nobody problem but his own. You know what I'm saying? Because if he was so worried about criticism, he wouldn't be criticizing other fighters, right? So, you know, if I didn't like people talking shit about me, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't talk shit about other people, right? I wouldn't be putting it out there, you know, talking about other people if I can't take it, right? And that's the thing that really pisses me off about Tank. You know, he likes to act like he a victim, and I've been seeing too much of this shit. Hey, now that you up, When you up in your career, Bud Crawford, he's up in his career. I don't want to hear no more victim shit. Okay, you got the opportunity and you killed it. You killed it, bro. You got it. You got it. So don't be a sore winner. Don't be a sore winner. And if the pressure is getting to you, take some time off. You got to confront the things in your life. You know what I'm saying? And you got to deal with it. And I'm not saying I know what's going on in the man's life. I don't know. But I could clearly see that there's something bothering this young man. There is something going on in his mind where he can't concentrate on his craft. And we know he's one of the best at his craft. So you could see the difference in the Tank, you know what I'm saying, that fought Mario's Boreals versus this Tank. You know what I'm saying? Or the Tank that fought Lamont Roach. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying? The man wasn't focused. When the last time you seen a fighter take a knee because he got grease in his eye? That punch did not affect Tank like that. That Lamont Roach, that little punch that Lamont Roach hit him with, he fell back. Tank didn't want to be there. He did not want to be in the ring that night. His mind was somewhere else. And I know fighters can't be 100% every night. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they can't even be 80%. But one thing you can't be distracted. Not when you got another hungry professional fighter that's there to destroy you. And Tank wasn't there that night. And you can see he wasn't there during this press conference. His mind was somewhere else. He could barely get the shit out, bro. The things that he was saying, he could barely promote it. And then once Jake Paul started trolling him, he kind of got a little animated, And I thought he was going to go too far at one point because he started, when the reporters started asking him questions, he's like, if I, all that street shit, like if I, if I see you, if you do something, and you start sounding like Rocky and shit. I'll do this and I'll do that. Like, bro, keep it professional, Tank. You know what I'm saying? They want you to get out of character. This is what they want. They wanna piss you off and have you do something, outside of being a professional fighter. They're trying to bury you. Who wants to see Tank lose? Everybody saying this Tank is just a bad bitch. And the man has all kind of talent. You know what I'm saying? He got all kind of talent when it comes to boxing. He has such potential, but we can't want it for Tank. You can't want it for him. If he don't want it, it is what it is. We're going to have to just, accept it. You know what I'm saying? That this is as far as he go. I think his potential is through the roof. But if he want to only go to the, the 7th floor of a 32 floor building, then so be it. Who are we to police his career, right? He said a lot of people want to see him lose. I don't know why. He said Tank is a waste of talent. He said Floyd Leonard taught him how to hide and make money off easy fights. And that was something I had to come to grips with when he said Canelo was his favorite fighter. Man, that really pissed me off. And then he went to wear the Canelo outfit in the ring and everything, and I was just like, man, this kid, something. He's slow. He's slow. He's slow. But then he was letting us know right then and there he's just fighting for the money, And you just hate to see that, you know what I'm saying, because he's such an exceptional special fighter. And that's how I see Tank. And for him to be fighting Jake Paul is sacrilege. It's sacrilege, bro. People saying like, well, if you don't like the fight, just don't buy it. Just don't buy it. You don't have to see the fight. Well, damn. Do boxing fans matter? I mean, we buy the pay-per-views. I brought every goddamn Tank pay-per-view. So what, my money just gone? You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what the hell I think. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's telling boxing fans to get the hell on or to sit back and just watch him do what he do. Well, no, when I go to the damn strip club and I pick out a female that I want to see dance, you know what I'm saying? I'm putting my money out there because I want her to dance for me. I don't want her to dance for another nigga. You know what I'm saying? I want her to dance for me. I want her to sit on my lap, give me a lap dance. That's what I want. I want what I want when I pay for it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see you fight Jake Paul. I want to see you fight Lamont Roach. And I think that's reasonable, especially with the performance that you gave. That wasn't a good performance. I don't know what the hell that was. We got a distracted Tank. Um, you know, it was competitive, but we know who Tank is. We know he could do better. You know, and I think Tank know he could have done better. So why run to this spectacle? You know, that nobody asked for. Nobody wants to see this shit. Nobody wants to see this, man. This here, I mean, I don't know. You know, Tank wasn't into it. Jake Paul, he was doing his little clown story. You know, it's just like I couldn't even take it seriously. You know, and I watched it, and like you say, it was just like this awkward silence in there. And Tank was just, he had his head down. You should have seen the body language. You know, his body language was just like, man, you know, this is bullshit. Everybody know this bullshit. So let me get through this shit so I can go, you know, do whatever. The vibe was totally off, bro. So I don't know how this thing is going to do numbers unless a lot of casual fans are coming into the building and buying this shit. I guess if you're on Netflix and you just, Tank Davis versus Jake Paul, this should be a good one. Let me check this out. So it's probably going to be a lot of people like that, you know what I'm saying, clicking in, and they may not be there for the duration once they see a 135-pound man, you know what I'm saying, what, 5'2" versus somebody who's 6'2", look in the damn cruiserweight division. You know, this is crazy. You know, saying how they going to be able to retain that viewership? You know, because once they see that bullshit, they're gonna know it's a clown show. Because look how small Tank gonna be compared to, or then again, you know, somebody might just want to see a freak show. You know, I'm just disappointed. You know, I'm disappointed. You know, and then Jake Paul started, you know, with the jokes, you know, with the disrespectful jokes. You can't. He's like Floyd. He can't read. I don't know why Floyd always take these strays. He's always taking strays in other people's shit, in other people's fights. He's always taking a stray. You know, just like Floyd. You know, you can't read just like Floyd. You know, and I was just like, damn. That's like, what is going on, bro? It's like, you know, why is Tank, you know, subjecting himself to this bullshit? He seemed a little dejected, B-Dog. He says, I wouldn't be surprised if he does take time out, and I hope he do, because I do not want to see Tank get his ass whipped because he's not himself. You know what I'm saying? And we can say that about a lot of fighters. Don't come to the ring just for the money and take the money and go in there and get your ass whipped. You know, you need to be, you know, at your best, the best that you can be that night. That's what I want to see. And Jake Paul is just an opportunist. Now he is doing good things for women's boxing. He really is. You know, he's helping women get paid. I like that. I like that. But when he get in there with somebody that's real, somebody, let's see what he really got. You know, I want to see him in his own weight division. You know what I'm saying? Against somebody real. We know that's not going to happen. Somebody asked Shakur Stevenson, they'll say, do you think Jake Paul has gotten better? And he said, I think he's gotten tremendously better. You know what that means. You know what that means. He's leaving himself open for a fight with Jake Paul. He wants to fight with, he wants a part of that Jake Paul money. You know what I'm saying? He's leaving that. Oh, I think Jake Paul has gotten tremendously better. I'm like, bro, this nigga trying to get a fight. Like, he's trying to get a fight with Jake Paul. That's what he's doing. Leaving the door open by saying this man has gotten tremendous. That man sucked. Because if he didn't suck, he would fight in his own weight division. Right now, he's making so much money doing these little clown side shows. Why would he change? He's getting more viewership than damn boxing. So he's not going to change. He's not going to fight no David Benavidez. He's not going to fight somebody that could beat the shit out of him and embarrass him in front of hundreds and thousands of people. He's not going to do it. You know. He says Jake fans and followers seem to be the majority that wants to see this, not fans of actual boxing, and that's what it is. You know, they talk about this is good for boxing. How? You know, are these people going to pay to see Tank Davis and Lamont Roach? I know who are. We gonna be there. We're gonna be there to see that fight. We're gonna be there to see the next fight. You know, not these novelist fans out there on Netflix. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that Tank is making his damn money, but man, what does this say? You know, for his legacy. But then if he retires, if Tank Davis retires after this might be the last time we see him in the ring. It might be the last time we see the man in the ring. And that's gonna suck because Tank is gonna take a big part of why we watch boxing away. He's gonna take that excitement, that KO power, you know what I'm saying, that explosiveness, you know what I'm saying, that excitement that he brings to the ring. He's gonna take all that shit with him. He's gonna take it with him. You know, and then we done lost another star because of some bullshit. Just because he's talking about he's blaming it on the fans. He's blaming this shit on the fans. No, bro, you got a fragile ego. You know, you need to stay off social media. I don't know why none of his coaches or team has told him to stay off. So it's so simple. Cut the computer off. Cut the phone off. You know, you don't have to check the phone every 5 minutes to see what somebody's saying about you. You know, and maybe it's the pressure of the expectation to fight Shakur Stevenson and all these guys. I don't think he's scared of them, but I think it's the pressure. You know, it's like, you know, every fight, you know, there's like, you know, a possibility running through your mind that, you know, you might get embarrassed in the ring. You can't worry about that as a fighter. You got to think that you're the best. And Tank seems like he has confidence problems. Now, I don't know if he, you know, what's his home life is like, right? Because that's got to be right too. You know, he seemed like he always going through it at home. I don't know how many times Tank Davis has been arrested, nor do I care, you know, because sometimes, you know, for great fighters, you know, sometimes, you know, just like singers, you know, they go through great pains and, you know, saying trials and tribulations, and it make them better fighters. But for Tank, it seems like he needs stability. He needs, you know, a serene type of environment for him to be able to function as a fighter, right? Because he's starting to break down, and we can see it. You can see it all over his face, man. He looked like he needs therapy or something, man. I've never seen, you know, he's never been like a jovial type guy 247. He don't be going around smiling all the time and like he's on happy time. He don't be like that. You know, he's kind of like a measured, you know what I'm saying, you know, mellow fellow, you know what I'm saying? And he just looked depressed, you know, when I seen him in the press conference. He just like he could barely, you know, mumble the words, you know, to promote, you know, and he was like, hey, that's what we need, you know, when Jake Paul started, you know, with his bullshit. You know, that's what we need. That's what we need. I'm like, what? Like, bro, that's lame. You talk about corny. This press conference is corny. The whole press conference was corny, you know. And I'm just like, bro, it's like, I know you're getting paid good, but damn, you know, I don't know. They need to give you a script or something, or, you know, I don't know, man. This was just like, I've never seen anything, you know, so flat, you know, that's supposed to be a big fight. And I bet you, I bet you, I bet you that this fight is gonna do, you know, higher than the average boxing match. You know what I'm saying? It's just because boxing is such a niche sport. He says, I think Tank could be replaceable if he leaves boxing. He said there are many young, hungry, up and coming fighters. Yeah, there are, but you know he's already established. You know, and then we're right at the apex of his career. He's in the prime of his career where he could fight and get the credit for beating a Shakur Stevenson, for beating, you know what I'm saying, a T.O., you know what I'm saying, for beating, anybody at 140. I wouldn't pit him against Abdullah Mason right now. Abdullah Mason is not ready. You know what I'm saying? He's half baked. He's not ready. I would even say Keyshawn isn't ready. Them guys are not ready. Not like Shakur Stevenson been around. He's got a lot of experience. I think, Shakur is right up his alley. He could challenge Devin. He got a lot of fights that he could get, you know. But for some reason, he just seemed like the reluctant warrior. I don't know why he's so reluctant, man. I don't get it. And I maybe it's because the echo chamber that I'm in, I don't hear from the haters. I don't hear people hating on Tank like other people do. And maybe because I don't look for it. I see how the media treats him, you know. That whole crack about his ankle monitor and all this kind of shit. Yeah, I thought that was kind of low. I thought that was kind of low. You're reaching into this man's life and you making fun of some of the shit that he's been through, right? But when you open yourself up to clownery and buffoonery, that's what happens. People are going to disrespect you because you're outside of boxing. I think if they had real boxing journalists that was there, you know what I'm saying, I don't think shit like that would have went down. Or you had another boxer that's actually happy to be there for the payday. I don't think nothing like that would have went down. But Jake Paul is a unique clown. He's a unique clown. Very disrespectful. And I was just like, man, I wish Tank go over there and bust his ass in the mouth, you know what I'm saying, and shut his ass up. I bet you if Tank would have ran over there, he would have hauled ass. You know what I'm saying? Because Tank, he seems like he's a real, dude that'll do something like that. He said reality of what he signed up for is probably starting to set in. Yeah, Vito. He said Jake had literal clowns, and yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. He had two clowns in there. Tell me, you want clowns? That's like the shit was already in a script or something, and they were looking like fools. The two dudes that were standing there were looking like idiots. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, bro, what does that even mean? You know what I'm saying? What does that even mean? It's like shit get on your nerves, some of the stuff that these guys come up with. He says, afternoon pool. He says, Lord, man, almost over 20 people in here, man. He said, hit the thumbs up button. I just got to come on more often. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, other channels be coming on every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm a working man, so I got to get it when I can get it. But if I came on every day, it'll build back up again. But I never cared about that anyway. It's all about the boxing and stuff. So yeah, man, I've never seen anything like this, man. What do you guys think about this shit, man? I'm just like, is this gonna, I don't see it tarnishing Tank Davis. I don't see it tarnishing his legacy at all. Because it's not real. It's unreal. It's almost like an exhibition. So I don't see it really tarnishing his record. And I hope to God that, they don't count this as a real fight. They can't do it because it's not even in his weight class. What would you even classify something like this? You know what I mean? So I just hope, that he go out there and he don't get knocked out or something like that, or something crazy happen, some way he get hurt and he can't fight no more or something like that, But I wonder how serious is he, is about retiring, because he got a lot of people on alert right now. A lot of boxing channels are afraid because they built a fucking whole boxing, channel around Tank. You know what I'm saying? If you're not talking about Tank, then you know what I'm saying, the ratings just ain't the same. Don't get me wrong. I think he's like the best at 135. I really do. But he just moves crazy, man. I don't know why these fighters just can't fucking fight the next dude that's in line, the next big name. Why? What's wrong with that? Why they got to go do something off the side? I don't understand it. Boxing is already has a set hierarchy. already had sanctioning bodies, you know what I'm saying, that order fights. Why can't you just fight the next dude that's ordered, you're ordered to fight? Now, I mean, I know I'm not Tank Davis. I know I don't control his career. But what's the problem? You know, if you're the best at 135, why can't you just fight? Why couldn't you just fight Lomachenko? You know what I'm saying? You know, boxing heads, we think about this shit. You know, you didn't fight that man, even though I thought you were better than him. It's like, but you didn't want to take the risk. You know what I'm saying? Tevin Farmer, why didn't you fight these guys? You know, your name would have been bigger, your legacy would have been stronger. It's like, why didn't you fight these dudes, man? It's like, it's just a wasted, like Master Khali say, this is a wasted, he's wasted potential, right? And he went up there and he went on a rant about how the media turn on fighters because they see them too much, you know. And I understand, you know, Tank's trying to express himself, you know, about the media switching on you. So what? So what? Floyd never gave a shit. No, well, I mean, I know he felt some kind of way because he remember when he went off on what's his name? What was his name? Damn, I can't even call his name. He told him, I don't know, you don't know shit about boxing. He said, you never give me a fair shake. And I knew Floyd felt some kind of way, you know, about these damn media people, you know. But Floyd still excelled. And I know Tank Davis is not Floyd Mayweather. I know that. But at the same time, you know, you got 10 years under your belt in boxing. You should have developed a thick skin by now. You got to develop a thick skin. You know, you are a fighter. The reason people love to see you because you got the courage to get in the ring and throw hands. We love you for that, Tank. Love you for that. But the weak part is you look at social media. Are you on every boxing channel listening to the bullshit that they say about you? You know, is that what's going on? I mean, I don't get it. How do you seem to know what everybody's talking about? You know, when you should just be like, you're a fucking millionaire. You know what I'm saying? You're a rich dude. You know, you made it. So my thing is, don't worry about what people are saying. Keep doing you. And he's talking about right now, I'm in my own space. I'm doing me. Yeah, that's how you do it. But with the attitude of working inside your craft and progressing and getting better and better every day. That's all I'm saying. You know, all the haters, why you worried about what the haters saying? I don't get it. Why are you worried? Every boxer say, I don't care what people think. But you do. You do care what they think. You really do. You know what I'm saying? Or you wouldn't be mentioning the shit, you know? You wouldn't even know what the hell they saying. Yeah, what you say, B Dog? B Dog said, I don't think it would tarnish his legacies, but he wouldn't be the first fighter heavily criticized for an exhibition. He says it's just bad look for the press. Well, B Dog, I don't even think it's about the exhibition. It's about how he looked in his last fight before the exhibition. You know, you ain't got time. To me, when you as hot as Tank is, and I'm not, and pause, I'm not talking about his body or none of that shit. I'm talking about his career, right? When you as hot as Tank is right now, you got to take advantage of that shit. This is his legacy time. This is his prime. He should be going out there knocking out the likes of Lamont Roach. You know what I'm saying? Lamont Roach was one of the, I mean, the way he looked that night, he looked great. And that was a signature fight for Tank. To look good against, get somebody to give him a little bit of adversity, somebody to make Tank dig deep, you know what I'm saying? And for somebody for Tank to overcome, right? And that would have been a good fight. You remember the Lamont Roach versus Tank Davis fight? Man, that shit was fire. Going back watching it, you know what I'm saying? Enjoying that shit, watching the punch selection. No, we can't do that. Yeah, Larry Merchant. You know what I'm saying? Watching the punch selection. We can't do that because Tank, because Tank, he worried about what people talk about, what they saying about me. What they saying about me. You know, when people being mean to me. Well, wasn't people mean to you on the streets of Baltimore? I've seen The Wire. You know what I'm saying? I know the motherfuckers are mean. Hell, they were mean where I came from. You know what I'm saying? Talking shit and all that. People gonna talk shit their whole life, especially when you're in the limelight. You know, they're gonna say things. You a star. You know, if you can't handle the pressure of the star, go get some therapy. He said even Tank retires undefeated. This match is gonna be ultimate L for Tank legacy and career, in my opinion. I don't think it's gonna affect his legacy. I just think the time that is happening, you know, I think the timing of it is terrible. It's terrible. You know, now let me tell y'all this. If Lamont Roach goes and blasts and beat the shit out of Pitbull, you already know they're gonna be crying for that fight. If Lamont Roach, and I think he will, because you know, we already knows how Rayo beat the hell out of Pitbull, right? So Roach got a good chance to go in there and destroy, especially if he knock him out or knock him down 2 or 3 times. They're gonna be crying. It's gonna be inevitable. They're gonna be crying to get Tank in the ring with Lamont Roach. You know, and if he comes back, that's gonna have to be his first fight. You know, that's gonna have to be his first fight, and hopefully Tank don't take so much time off that he's rusty. You know, if he leaves boxing for a year or two after the Jake Paul fight, what are we gonna see if Tank takes a year or two off, then comes back? He may not even face Lamont Roach. That's gonna be like some Canelo shit. That's gonna be like, you know, even though Canelo, you never took a break, you know what I'm saying? But that's gonna be like some Canelo shit, man, right there. You know, he's gonna need a tune up. He's gonna have to get back active, you know. And I think he's gonna have to be active to beat a Lamont Roach, because Lamont Roach trained, he's hungry. He's trained in the pits of hell to beat Tank Davis, right? He knows him. You know what I'm saying? He's familiar with Tank. So he got something to prove, right? Tank got to get that hunger back. He's got to get the hunger back. He really does, you know, or it's going to be night night for him. He says, he said, I ain't streamed this fight for free. I ain't streaming this fight for free. Hey, I got Netflix, you know what I'm saying? So just because it ain't shit going on Friday, I got to see it. I got to see it, man. You know, say what is this clown show going to be like? You know, how is it really, gonna unfold, right? See, you know, Jake Paul's gonna come out there with some clown shit, and I just want to see. Really, I'm interested in seeing how Tank Davis look when he comes out and everything. You know what I'm saying? Is he gonna like take shit seriously? Is he, just how he's gonna react? You know what I'm saying? Tank got that kind of energy, man, where you just want to see him in the ring, right? You know, not this kind of fight, but he just hot right now, man. You know what I'm saying? Anything he does turns to gold. You know, I just don't understand why he's so down. And maybe we'll never know. Maybe it's not for us to know. I don't know. Maybe it's too personal. Maybe it's something personal going on, that we don't know about. And that could be true too. So whatever he got to do to get himself back on track, he needs to do it. Because boxing, you can't play boxing. He says, what's it, Mr. Infinity? He says, Tank Hart isn't in the sport anymore. He says you can look at him and tell that something is off with him. Something is wrong mentally. Yeah, I think it's the end. I said at the end of the day, it's just business for him now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, I think you're correct. Yeah, saying facts is feeling. I mean, I think it could be a female. You know what I'm saying? It might be a female. Did he get cheated on by some chick in DC? You know what I'm saying? Who knows? Who knows? Somebody, you know what I'm saying? Some chick he got caught up with. I don't know, but that's what he acting like. It's like his heart broken or some shit. He said, I think he mentioned during the first conference about how long he's been boxing. He's been boxing 7. I think maybe watching his last fight. I hope not. I hope not. This kid, you know, this kid is something else, man. But I do want Tank to be healthy. I do wish him well. I do. Much as I love his talent, if he has to go get healthy, say, I guarantee you he'll be out for a couple of years and he'll be back. he'll be back. You know what I'm saying? If Tank just got that, he's got a God gifted ability. So if God gave you superpowers, you're gonna use them some bitch. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna come back and you know what I'm saying, and you're gonna jump right back to what you were doing before. And he won't be out long if he do get out. He's just tired right now. Maybe he's just exhausted. He just need a vacation, you know. And, maybe he is done. You know, who knows? You know, Marvin Hagler never came back. You know, after he fought Sugar Ray Leonard, it was the ultimate insult for him to lose that fight. Now, I'm not saying that Sugar Ray Leonard, you know, what I'm saying I'm not saying that Sugar Ray Leonard um actually lost the fight, but what I'm saying is Marvin didn't want to lose to him. You know what I mean? To him. And that's what really got Marvin. You know, he lost to like before there was Oscar De La Hoya, there was Sugar Ray Leonard. He was a golden boy, you know, the golden Olympic boy. So, you know, Marvin didn't want to lose to that guy. And when he lost to that guy, that kind of destroyed him on the inside. And a lot of these fighters, they go through so many personal issues, man. It's like you just never know what the hell going on. He says, I do believe he will fight Roach after the circus with Paul. Just look at this as a big money tune up for Tank. You know, and I do. I look at it like that, but you could tell he's not in it, bro. You could tell his heart ain't in it. You know, he's not even, you know, promoting, you know what I'm saying? He's not even putting the energy. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know how other channels are like really, you know, looking at this, you know, and can get behind it, you know, and like really pump this up. You know, Tank ain't even with this shit, man. It's just like, hey, all right, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I see you, yeah, whatever. Let's just get through it, take a couple of pictures, and you know, we'll just see you on Friday. See you on Friday. You know, he was just standing there like he was standing in the park. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he just like this ain't shit. Like, this is what the energy was like. He said it's affecting him because it's the truth that being said is that he's avoiding his contemporaries, you know. And see, that's a legitimate criticism. That's a legitimate criticism. You know, much as you know, you don't want to say nothing like that about Tank, you know, it's been 10 years he could have fought all them guys. He could have fought Shakur Stevenson. He could have fought Devin Haney. It's been 10 years done went by. You know, this man is 30 years old. He could have fought them 2 or 3 times. And, you know, he could have fought Lomachenko. He could have fought Tio. He could have fought all them dudes. So why is he letting all these names go by that could be on his resume? He said Roach may fuck around and lose to Pitbull and said, you heard it here first. No, I understand what you're saying, you know, because all these little side fights, you know what I'm saying, that happens because one fighter don't want to fight right now. You know what I'm saying? And they go off and lose, you know what I'm saying, to another fighter. You know what I'm saying? And it's off. Look at AJ and Andy Ruiz. You know, they were trying we had to build up going between him and Wilder. You know, he's trying to clean up on this side. His first American debut, AJ first American debut, you know what I'm saying? He's looking for his damn boots and shit because he got some kind of breakdown, some kind of mental breakdown. You know what I'm saying? Because he's scared because he only fought in England and everybody in England, you know what I'm saying, they all up his ass. So the first time he comes outside the country, he's all scared and all kind of shit. And he goes out there and get Falumaloon by this little fat pudgy, you know what I'm saying, Mexican American guy. You know what I'm saying? Put the Falumaloons to him, right? So Tank, you know, he better be careful because if he's not mentally, if he let himself slide mentally, you know, he could get defeated, man. He could get knocked out. I mean, that's why I want to watch this Jake Paul fight because I want to see what kind of mind state Tank is in. Is he, you know, does he have enough together to make it through this fight, even though it's not a real fight? You know, is Jake Paul gonna like try some slick shit and try to like really, you know, beat this man? You know, and Tank might just get mad and catch his ass with something. Big ass. He's too big for this shit, man. Jake Paul should be better than this, but it's a spectacle, and people like to pay for spectacles. They like to pay for circuses, you know. And there's a lot of people that casuals that don't understand that this is a circus. He said Tank is going to go off the strip during the fight. If he pissed Tank off too much, Tank may take it to his ass. He says, bite, bite kneecap. Retro. This is getting lost in the script. Says he's pulling a Crawford. He said let them weed it out and come back. Yeah, man, don't even say that. I don't. I like to think of Tank as a real warrior. You know, I like to think of Tank because really, if you think about it, all you got is Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, and you got Tio. He should be with them, and then he got the whole 140 division right there that he could fight. So he got a lot of dudes, man. He's got a lot of dudes, and they champions. It's champions. You got Gary Antoine Russell there. You got he'll knock out Richard Hitchison. He'll knock him straight to flat out. What's his name? Subri Matias. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna come straight to Tank. He'll probably get knocked the fuck out because he's gonna come forward and run into something. So that he could clean up. He could clean up right there. He could clean up right there. Only now, I think your boy Russell will give him problems. I think Russell will give him but Russell like to come forward too, rushing forward. So a lot of these guys at 140 is tailor made for Tank if he had his mind right. If he had his mind right, a lot of these guys at 140, they're tailor made for him. Right now, you know what I'm saying? He don't have anybody too outlandishly good. Maybe Pueblo will give him some issues. Maybe Pueblo will give Tank some issues. Because he's such a great boxer. He's got a little power, reach. That dude probably give Tank some problems. Tank would have to knock him out. He said, "Yeah, I feel that Tank could be bored of boxing, and a lot of these guys can be bored with boxing. A lot of these guys, like Sean Porter, had been boxing since they were 6. You know what I'm saying? Working on the craft. You know what I'm saying? Practice every day, having that discipline. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure that they do get tired of it. And I'm not, if Tank is so depressed and so down on boxing, take a break. Take your 6-month break. You know what I'm saying? Go off and, take care of your mental health. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But if you're going to continue in the sport, if you're going to continue in the sport, make it known. Say, look, man, I'm just going to take a little time off. You know what I'm saying? I need to get rejuvenated, recharged, you know, and I'll get back on it. You know what I'm saying? But to berate the damn boxing fans that pay your tickets, oh, that's blasphemy. That is blasphemy to me. Because, you got people spending their last to see Gervonta Tank Davis. You got people out here that support him no matter what. He said, I think an extended vacation could be good for him, might be all he needs. And that's true. You know, that's true. I mean, what's keeping him from taking a vacation? You know, here, I mean, if he's like he say, he has, his own, if nobody can tell him what to do, he's not worried about what the fans think. Go ahead and take you a vacation, bro. Nobody gonna say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you need it that bad. If you need it that bad, that's cool. He says after Leonard refused an immediate rematch, Hagler was like, I'm out. He says he's retired and moved to Italy. Because he knows Leonard was on some bullshit. Leonard just wanted to have Leonard knew that they went life and death on that fight. He was lucky not to get knocked out. He lucky that Hagler was trying to box and stuff. Hagler wanted to let him know that he was the superior boxer. You know what I'm saying? Only like the last few rounds, he was trying to like really pursue him and knock him out. You know what I'm saying? Hagler just took the wrong game plan to fight against Leonard. You know, and Leonard was tired as hell at the end of that fight. Leonard said, "Shit." He got out of there by the hair of his chin, and by flurrying at the end of different rounds. He stole rounds by flurry, just doing just game plan, because they would say, I think 30 seconds or 20 seconds, they would yell out and he would just go into a flurry. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the little flurry thing kind of came from. He said, it's a scripted fight, so it don't matter the outcome. You think it's scripted, You think it's what he said, magnetic sun? You think it's scripted? Could be. I mean, we don't know. But one thing's for sure, it don't really stand up to the standards that you think that you expect for Gervonta Tank Davis. It's like everybody's giving him a pass because of who he is. A lot of people think it's disrespectful to boxing. People are on all sides of the coin. Now I know, like you said, that there are some people that's against, what Tank does because he's been moving the way he moved. He's not moving towards the competition. He's moving away from the competition. And I think that's what people are looking at. Like, look like year after year after year, this man do not want to get in the ring with his rivals. And boxing fans are not going to respect you if you don't fight your rivals. If you keep curbing your rivals and then you getting on the fans, like they got a problem because they expect you to be the fighter that we think he is, you know, that's your personal problem, bro. Because we're boxing fans. We want to see you fight the next guy that's good, or the next guy that we think that might be able to give you some trouble in the ring. We want to see that, right? That's not an uncommon expectation from boxing fans. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? It's like you want to see you against Shakur Steve. That's the next guy. That's the guy everybody been talking about, or Devin Haney. We want to see you fight those two fighters, and your legacy probably be good. And really, if you think about it, those guys ain't even all that. They ain't even all that. They still got shit to prove. You know what I'm saying? They still we got three of the major guys who's been fighting for the last 10 years. They still got to prove themselves. Now, I would say Devin Haney fighting Lomachenko was classic. I would say a lot of people don't like Devin Haney, but Devin Haney fought Lomachenko was classic, bro. And he became undisputed at 135, right? That's awesome. You know what I'm saying? Now keep going. The man went up. Now he's fighting Brian Norman Jr., right? Now, I'm not saying Brian Norman Jr. is all that, but he is a threat. He is somebody that could beat Devin Haney, right? He's not somebody we don't know. Shakur Stevenson had Santos. Santos is a damn good fighter. Santos is a damn good fighter. I mean, a really good fighter. You could tell by the way Shakur was fighting him, right? Should have been a breakout fight for Shakur, but he took the wrong game plan. I'm not saying a game plan to survive. I'm talking about a game plan to like really beat this guy and show off your skills, right? So we can separate you and put you in the category over here. Say, okay, Shakur Stevenson really special. He went out there and he really put it on Santos. No, you jumping out the damn ring like a goddamn scary ass rabbit running all over the ring. You know what I'm saying? And I do believe in boxers. I do believe in pure box. I do like the science. I do like the science. You know what I'm saying? But the way Shakur fought Santos, I was like, you need to do a rematch, my brother. I'm sorry. You can't get by with that. You know what I'm saying? I know your style, but you got to sit in the pocket. Like just like Bud Crawford fought Canelo, right? Stick and move. Stick and move. Stay in the pocket. Use your hand speed. You know what I'm saying? Use your skills. That's what I want to see from Shakur. He need to do, instead of like just going to straight survival mode. You jumping back 4 or 5 feet. You know what I'm saying? Like you a jump Olympian or something. What's going on, King Judah? What's happening, bro? I'm just ranting here. What's happening,
Man, what's
bro?
up? You can hear me, bro?
Yeah. What you think
Okay,
about
yeah.
this bullshit ass?
Bro, I just want to start out by saying, bro, it's been a long time coming, bro. Oh, I started watching you, bro. I think I started talking to you, bro, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 3 years ago. It might be at 3 years now. Yeah, probably about 3 years, bro. And I've been saying for the longest what I saw who Tank Davis really was. And back then, a lot of people couldn't see it. But I want to give you credit, bro. No matter how much I talked about Tank, you never chose a side, bro. You was never the one that was like, well, Tank ain't this and he ain't that. And you was never a Tank fanboy either. And I want to say, bro, you one of the few people on YouTube that was able to stay neutral when it came to Tank Davis. A lot of people can't do that. They either love him or hate him. You don't meet a lot of people who just neutral. So I wanted to point that out. But I've been saying this for the longest, Paul. But Tank Davis, to me, I've been saw it, bro. Tank Davis has never been a fighter to me. He is a dude that can fight, but he is not a fighter to me. And I don't want to be disrespectful to him because, you know, he got skills that I will never have in the boxing ring. But I'm only comparing him to his peers. You see what I'm saying? I'm not comparing him to me. I'm comparing him to his peers. And compared to your peers, you are not a fighter. You don't have the mindset of a fighter. You don't move like a fighter. You don't have the pride of a fighter. Boy, you know, bro, bro, most fighters, regardless of their style, right? Like, think about this. Regardless of somebody's styles or their physical attributes, meaning whether they are a rough fighter, or outside fighter, whether they have a power, don't have power, whether they have size and don't have size, one thing most fighters usually have is pride. Regardless of what shape they come in as a fighter, they usually have pride, Paul. And he don't have none. He don't have no pride, bro, at all. He went up there on that stage. I'm not even talking about how much of a joke of a fight this is after you refused to fight Shakur Stevenson, right? Or Devin Haney. I'm not even getting on that part yet. I'm getting on how you went up on that stage in front of Jake Paul, in front of the world, and he clowned you the whole time. And you did not have none of that smoke or none of that visceral energy that you usually have for your own people, because you act like you wanted to go at Roach Nick right there on the stage. This is somebody you grew up with. This is somebody who from your same culture, your same, well, not the same neighborhood, but the same area. You knew this guy. But Roach didn't disrespect for you nowhere near the way Jake Paul did. All Roach did was come at you and told you nothing but what any fighter gonna tell you. I'm better than you and I'm coming to beat you. You took that personally to the point where you disrespected him, his mama. You said you was coming for his kids. But with Jake Paul, said you.
Go ahead.
Jake Paul said you couldn't read. Jake Paul said you beat women. Jake Paul called you a clown. He insinuated that you may be homosexual. He changed your name to some type of feminine name. He even called you a clown pool counter. Got a real clown to blow up a balloon for you. Put it in front of you. You took the balloon and played with the balloon the whole time during the press conference. Tank Davis was utterly embarrassed. Whatever shred of dignity he had left was gone after this. And I'm not gonna lie to you, a couple people broke it down today, BFTB and Champside. I'm not watching none of the Tank Davis channels, but I would love to see the spin, because they love to break down these press conferences and who got the edge and who was in who head. How could you watch this press conference with Tank Davis and Jake Paul and not say he got utterly destroyed? Jake Paul is in his head. He is mentally broken, because when they had the face off, he couldn't even look Jake in his eyes.
Well, I mean, how can you? How can you?
What's up, Paul?
See, see what's going on. Let me say.
Let me respond to it.
I think Tank ain't looking. Hold on. Let me just say this. I don't think Tank is looking at it like that. Tank is looking at this shit like it ain't real. You know what I'm saying? He looking at this shit like it's just, if somebody giving you the ability to make 43 or whatever it is, $43 million, right? He's looking at this shit like, you know, it's an opportunity, but it ain't a threat like it is to fight, like, you know, Lamont Roach. You know, this fight here is not going to affect his legacy. It's just a money grab. It's just a way to pay some bills, and you can see Tank ain't even up for it. Now, all the disrespect, $43 million ain't free. Sometimes you got to do, you know, a lot come with it. The insults, you know what I'm saying? Everything that he's experiencing right now, that's $43 million worth of the shit that he's got to deal with. But he'll deal with it because the money is there. And I know that sounds kind of fucked up and corny, you know what I'm saying? But hell, it's $43 million, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't care what Jake Paul is talking about. And you could tell he don't care. You know what I'm saying? He don't care about his fight. He don't care what he's talking about, even though it's a travesty, even though the shit is infamous. You know what I'm saying? You never want to see somebody talk shit to your favorite fighters like that. You know what I'm saying? But this is a circus, and they got to sell the fight. And that's what Jake Paul is doing, and Tank knows that. Because he said at one point, yeah, that's what we need. That's what we need. Because he knows this shit is just an event. You know, so I don't think you know, we looking at it from a purist point of view, right? A boxing purist. This is not a real boxing match. This is just an event. It's a spectacle. It's a circus. And Tank knows that. And you can see his body language. You can see how he's not really getting into this shit. You know what I'm saying? He's just like, you know, just give me my check. Can't wait till this shit over type of stuff. That's what type of
That tell you
time.
then put
Tank,
that
that's the
tell you
energy.
he look like a clown right now.
Let me say this.
I don't, you
Let
know,
me say this.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me say this real quick, because this to me, like, I think this shit is getting like, in my opinion, it's getting a little ridiculous. And it's not a shot at you, King Jude. I'm just saying like what I've been hearing around about this fight. Um, he not a real fighter. He not this. Like all of these things Tank is now because he's taking the opportunity to go fight this exhibition with Jake Paul and make whatever money he gonna make. And I think that is crazy for boxers or people to say, "Oh, he this, he that. I knew he was never this. I knew he was never that." When the truth is, if you look at his resume, it's very comparable, if not better, than some of his contemporaries. If we want to sit here and go through each fighter, who they fought, line for line, hoop for hoop, then that's cool. And what people are not going to do is make me feel like, oh, you defending this fight, you not a real boxing fan, and you not this, and you not that, because I don't have this upward issue that everybody have. And it's not a matter of me being a quote unquote Tank fan, like I'm wearing some type of scarlet letter because I'm a Tank fan. Like I don't understand why people doing it. And for people to have all of this criticism and then at the end of that say, if it was me, I'd do the same thing. The shit is very hypocritical. We all know it's an exhibition fight, and I'm looking at Tank at the press conference. He looked like he barely even want to do the fight for real. He looked like the more you heard him, he was like, I mean, now the more that I'm thinking about it, I could see how it's this, and that. So he barely looking like he want to do the fight. But to sit here and try to demolish this man's career and do all of this shit because he's not doing what you want him to do, and he's doing what he feels would be best for him and his career, I don't understand that. Because I don't care who was taking the fight. Shakur, Devin, Crawford, I don't care who was taking the fight. I would not have a problem with it. I would not be acting like some of y'all are acting because this man is not doing exactly what y'all want him to do and fighting exactly who y'all want him to fight. I don't see y'all having demands for other fighters to fight certain fighters. Y'all just accept who they fight and y'all big up and hype up whoever their opponent is. And that's the truth. Y'all shit on everybody Tank fights. And then after that, all his contemporaries want to fight him. And then you mad when he on Twitter telling y'all to shut the fuck up and be a fan, because all y'all do is criticize and complain. Y'all cry all the way up to the lead up to the Roach fight. Oh, he pulling up a 30-pounder. He this, he that, he this, he that after the fight. Oh, he got beat. He this, he that. And then y'all are constantly complaining and think he's going to make decisions based off what y'all are saying when all y'all keep doing is shitting on the man anyway. I don't understand that. Y'all favorite fighters is up here saying they will take a fight with Jake Paul if it was offered. That should be the end of it. If you don't like the fight, don't watch it. I never seen men sit around and talk about so much of what they don't want and what they don't see and what they don't like. It's simple. If you don't like the fight, don't talk about it. Don't watch it. Period.
Yeah, what just happened is, though, I hear what you're saying, but you said that sounds like a whole bunch of defending to me.
No, it's
Especially
not no
to me
defending.
personally.
It's common sense and logic. I'm not
I'll let you
defending
finish. I'll let you
anything.
finish. I'll let you finish when you was going. I'll let you finish. I didn't say nothing. But to me, that's why I say to me personally, what you saying may be true about a lot of people. Like some of the criticisms you have for people speaking on it, that may be true for a lot of people. But me personally, none of that apply to me, because you're saying that now that he's taking this fight, people are saying that he's not a real fighter. I've been saying that for 2 years. This is nothing new for me. I didn't just start saying Tank wasn't a real fighter for me. Because Tank Davis never looked when he has an opportunity to fight and he's been the A side and he can send a contract to anybody. Tank Davis never has a list of people and takes the hardest fight and said, "You're getting the contract." Tank Davis has never done that. That's why most people still call him a 30-year-old prospect, because you have never fought the best fighter in your division ever. You didn't do it when you was young. You didn't do it when you was middle age. And now in boxing age at 30, you're getting old and you still haven't done it. And you have no plans of doing it because they asked you about Shakur Stevenson. Not only did you give an inclination that you wanted to fight Shakur Stevenson, you told us in so many words you don't want to fight him because you're scared he's going to lose. The first thing you said is, y'all want to see me lose. Why y'all want to see me lose? So your scary ass said in front of the whole world while Jake Paul was there. You didn't look him in his ass, and you told the whole world, if y'all want to fight me to fight Shakur Stevenson, the way I process that is, y'all want me to lose. This is why I don't respect Tank Davis. It ain't got nothing to do with him fighting Jake Paul. That's why when I came up here, my criticisms wasn't even, I didn't even get to the part about you skipping Shakur, skipping the Roach rematch. Telling the whole world you didn't want to fight Devin Haney because he was too big at 140. When your fans said that, you insinuated it, your fans said it. But you would go fight Jake Paul at 195. Everything Tank Davis do is whole shit. And you saying that I never seen grown men sit around and do this, that's false, because maybe grown men talking about boxing specifically is a specific thing that's strange to you. But if you ever been around a group of men who talk about what other men do or what they see in the world, men have always talked about the moves that other men make that they can respect and don't respect, because men by nature do not support shit they don't respect. So this ain't nothing new for man to say, I don't like how this nigga moving because that was a whole move. Men always do that. It don't matter what you talking about. You can show a man a cartoon that's meant for kids, and a man gonna sit there and pick out who the real nigga is in the cartoon. That's what niggas do.
So y'all don't respect making 40 million, like all of this because he not fighting.
You
Y'all
making
want
it
him to
about
fight.
money. You making it about money. You making it about money. But my thing is,
Because this
I
is
don't
a
care how much the
business.
nigga
What are you
making. They
talking
all
about?
make more money than me. They all
Let
have
her
more money
talk.
than me.
Judah, let her have her space to
All right, go
talk.
ahead.
Right? I'm gonna let
Go
y'all
ahead.
I
talk.
mean, listen, everybody
Go
is
ahead.
entitled to their own
Go
opinion,
ahead.
right? But what I'm saying is about people sitting. People are so disgusted and so upset. Like don't minimize what I'm saying, Judah. People are so disgusted with this fight, right? But they sit around and they talk about it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't talk about things that I'm disgusted with that I just don't like. That's just this, and that. But that's fine. If they want to talk about it, they entitled to talk about whatever they could talk about. I'm just making an observation. But what I'm saying is to say Tank is not a real fighter, to me, that seems a little egregious, right? Because I can't understand why Tank is not a real fighter simply because he hasn't fought who you want him to fight. You acting like
It's not about who I want.
it's just all these
Well,
fighters are
let me
doing the
say this.
same
I
thing,
believe.
and all y'all do is put Tank under a microscope. That's what I don't understand.
They not doing the same thing though.
They
They not doing it.
are.
My go ahead, Pooh. Go ahead.
Hold on. I believe. Hey, let me say this, y'all. I believe we put all fighters under a microscope. I just think when the fighter means a lot to that person, you know what I'm saying, that really, a fan of Tanks, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not an extreme fan of Tanks, so I can understand the criticism on the other side. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an extreme fan of Devin Haney. I was an extreme fan of Errol Spence Jr. So, I understand how you feel, you know what I'm saying? But like he said, they all get criticized. You know what I'm saying? What it is people are disappointed with the potential of what Tank could have done with his career, even though he didn't do what the fans want. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that most people in this chat paid for Tank Davis pay-per-views to help make him a star. So when you pay for a commodity like Tank Davis, we paying to see traditional hierarchy boxing. We want you to take the first contender for your belt, that type of shit. That's what we want to see. And when fighters don't do that, I don't care if it's Tank Davis, I don't care if it's Devin Haney, I don't care if it's Ryan Garcia, who never had a belt, but I don't care if it's Canelo, I don't care if it's Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. was loved so much because he went straight to the next goddamn contender. He went straight for the belts. You know what I'm saying? That's why he was loved. You know what I'm saying? Because he went in a linear fashion to go grab the belts. And we expect that from the special fighters. We don't want to see no special fighter duck smoke, or make even look like he's ducking smoke. We wanted to see him get the fight and move on to the next big fight. And that's part of the criticism of Tank over the last 10 years. We can't seem to get him in the fights that we want to see. Shakur has been around for what, 10 years? Devin Haney was down at 135. They couldn't make the fights. You know what I'm saying? Despite what the reason was, they could not get in the ring to make it happen. We don't see that shit in boxing that much. It's like, come on, y'all, you got all these stars right there at 135 and they never meet. It never happens. So Tank got a lot of shit going on around him. No matter
So, but
how
why is
great
that
he
Tank's
is,
fault though, fool? How does all that fall on Tank though? If we for real, because it seems like it's like everybody saying that's all on
It's his
Tank.
career. Because it's his career too. I mean, it's his career. You know, just like Bud not being able to fight the 147 pounders. You know what I'm saying? During the time when everybody had belts and shit. That was his. He couldn't get in the ring with them.
But the,
You know what I'm saying? It's
but
like,
the exact. But they don't. But that's what I'm
mhm,
saying. Well, how is everybody assuming that? And I don't know whose it is. Like I don't know who reason it is or not. Right? I'm just saying. How is
right.
everybody assuming that the reason why Tank haven't fought these people is only because of Tank? That's what I'm saying. How are we assuming
He was
that?
the
And
A side.
also,
He
Because
just
you are you? No, listen. Hold on. Listen,
hold
what I'm saying. And are you saying that the other fighters, his other contemporaries, are not special fighters because they don't have demands like this on who they have to fight?
why they don't? Why they don't? They made Devin fight Lomachenko. They made him fight George. What's his name? 2 times. You know what
No,
I'm
no,
saying?
this is
Who
what.
they
No,
don't
I'm
have a
talking
demand
about. No, I'm saying nobody
on?
was like, if you don't fight George Kambosos, you ain't a real fight. Like that's what I'm saying. Nobody was saying you have to fight this person. You need to fight this
No,
person.
I don't see the hate that maybe because I don't be on social media like that. I don't be seeing the hate y'all be seeing. I be look like everybody love Tank Davis to me. You know what I'm saying? I never see. I only see
he
a
got the
few,
most
maybe.
fans. He got the most
I
fans
mean, he
out of
got the
everybody I'm
most
talking about.
fans. He got the most casual fan. He got the biggest fan base out of all of them. So there's a lot
You
of
talking
people that
about
love
few?
him, huh?
Hmm. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I'm just saying to me, it just seems
I have
like
never seen
who?
nobody. Only King Judah is the only person I ever heard that say Tank
I'm the
was.
only one.
He been saying that shit for like 3 years. He's the only person
Yeah,
I ever I
I've
heard
been stopped
that
seeing him as
say
the real fighter. And my reasoning,
right.
let me give up my reason. Now the thing is, now let's say I'm not the only person who say that because I know I'm not the only person who think that, but I think everybody have their own reasoning. A lot of people have different reasons for why they think a fighter is a real fighter and why they don't.
But they
Because I'm
all
gonna give you an
real
example.
fighters though.
The biggest example we can have, like recently, is the new generation. To them, a real fighter is anybody who know how to finesse the game to take the easiest fights for the most money.
Facts,
To them, that's a real fighter.
facts.
That's why they love Tank Davis. A lot of the casuals, not the real Tank Davis fans, the ones who may be also hardcore boxing fans. They like Tank for the knockouts. They like Tank because he usually smaller than his opponent. They like to watch the smaller man go in and get the job done. This is why hardcore boxing fans like Tank. But I told you my reason. Like you said they all fighters. But I don't know how long you've been listening. But the first thing I told Poole when I said that I don't think he's a real fighter, I said I want to be careful because I don't want to disrespect him too much because he has skills that I will never have. But I'm not comparing him to me. It would be different if I was saying, "Oh, Tank not a real fighter," and I'm comparing him to me. I would sound stupid because he has skills that I would never possess. I'm comparing you to your peers. And you said that nobody else have a demand on them. Nobody else feels pressure. Well, when it comes to Devin Haney specifically, their careers are totally different. Devin Haney consistently goes for the hardest touch available to him, whether he
No,
thinks
he
he
does
gonna win
not.
or not. Whether he
No, he
think
does
he
not.
gonna whether his fans think he gonna win or not, whether he know he gonna win or not. Devin Haney, when you give a list of people, he goes down the list, and the toughest competition is the one he chooses first. That's been the pattern for Devin. The only time he didn't do that, you could say George Kambosos wasn't as tough as some of the other fighters he fought. That was only because George Kambosos had a belt. That's the only time Devin has ever deterred from going from the toughest fight is if a belt was attached to it. Other than that, you look at Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson's career been the same way. I'm not the biggest Shakur Stevenson fan, but the only time I seen Shakur Stevenson have the toughest competition available and he didn't take it was Devin Haney. Other than that, he always seemed to go for the best possible opponent at that time. Tank Davis does the exact opposite. He has yet to be the top 5 fighter in his division. He has yet to defend his belt. As a matter of fact, another thing is Shakur just defended his belt at 135. We know Devin did that multiple times. Shakur just defended his belt at 135. Tank Davis not only never defended a belt, but when Devin Haney tried to use the fact that they had a belt that can cause for them to fight each other, he threatened to drop it. You making a comparison that does not exist. Tank Davis has never been the type of fighter you're trying to say he is to defend him in this argument.
He has never did anything that make your argument valid. He has never been that same type of mindset as Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. He on a total different stratosphere of the way he approaches boxing. He is not somebody who's trying to prove he's the best. He does not want to take a chance and possibly lose. He can care less about his legacy. That's why in this press conference, at the end of this press conference, they asked him, what would a loss do for your legacy? How do you feel about your legacy? He looked down, started twiddling his thumbs and said, I don't know. Because now he knows at 30 years old and the fact that he does not have the same drive, this was what I told everybody was going to happen to him. Because no matter what kind of heart this man had for fighting, starting out, as you get older, your fire naturally starts to dwindle. First of all, his testosterone dropping. Second of all, he got kids. He is not the same 20-year-old fiery, I'll whoop anybody. His mindset is changing every year. Now is he 30 years old. He will never wake up and be that I'm going to beat everybody and show everybody I'm great. That time has passed him.
Sound is deafening, but I do think Tank is the best at 130. I want to see him, healthy. I want to see him. I wish him the best. You know what I'm saying? If this is the last time we're going to see him, you know what I'm saying? But I think he will come back. If he did leave, I think he'd come back after a year or two. He just don't seem like he with us right now. And I don't want to see him in any fights, tell you the truth, with him in this kind of state of mind. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him, back to where he used to be. I want to see him at his best. I don't want to see him at his worst. I'm going to tune into the fight just to see what Tank look like. You know what I'm saying? See how this shit goes. Cause I don't want Jake Paul to do him dirty in there. And I know I can't do nothing about it sitting at home, but at least I can watch the shit to see if Tank is gonna retire or is he gonna, do he look like he still got something left? You know what I'm saying? Even though this ain't a real fight, you know what I'm saying? I still want to see the man. And that's how much star power Tank got. You know what I'm saying? You want to just see the guy in the ring. You know what I'm saying? You just want to see what he's gonna do. Is he going to do something spectacular or whatever? You know what I'm saying? I mean, as long as he in boxing, I want to see him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about nobody else. That's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I think the guy is a great talent. And so what?
So somebody in the chat just said, let me just say this right quick. And I'm gonna give it to you. Somebody in the chat made me remember something. Throughout this whole time I've been talking about Tank, it's not like every single chance I get, I'm just down in Tank. Throughout his career, there's been times he have done shit that impressed me. That's why I'm trying to say this man is not a trash fighter. You will never hear me say Tank Davis can't fight. He is trash. To me, it's all about his mentality. He does not have a fighter's mentality. He is not that. He is not. So while all his fans keep saying he the best, he the greatest, he this and he that, that cannot be true if he does not believe that himself. There is no way you can convince me, because when we arguing about
how
football,
do you know how
sport,
Tank feels emotionally though, Judah? Like you keep talking about this man mind state and how he feels emotionally.
You can only go off the way he challenged himself. He's not trying to prove he the best. So why would I say he's the best?
No. I'm asking. You keep talking about how he ain't this and how he feel this way and how his mindset this.
Based
I'm just
off his
asking,
actions.
like, how do you know
Based
that?
off his actions. Based off his actions. Men are action oriented. So you judge a man by years by what he do, not what he say. That's why if you get into it with another man, no matter what he tell you he gonna do, if you never seen him demonstrate that, no matter what, the next time somebody do this, I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna do this. If he never put that into action, you can't trust what he's saying. It's just simple. But basically what I'm trying to tell you is, of course, I'm not a psychologist and I can't read this man's mind. But what we do here is we evaluate athletes, right, based off their actions. Because as men, this is how we judge other men, by their actions.
What you mean, Master Khalid?
I mean, but this what I wanted. This what I wanted to say. This is my thing right now. Everybody like, oh, you defending Tank, you a Tank fan girl, whatever. Y'all can call me whatever names y'all want. Y'all not gonna shame me out of my opinion. This is one fight. And I got a video on my channel that I did 4 months ago when this rumor first started, where I said, if Tank Davis goes off and fight an exhibition fight to make a lot of money or whatever he does, I don't really see what the big deal is. It's one fight. Now, if he retires and people want to get up in the uproar, I get it. But this is one fight, and we're acting like it's his absolutely last fight, and we know that for sure. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, of course, people got their
But,
opinion
but the
about it, but
problem,
I feel like it's an
but the problem,
overreaction in my opinion.
Right, I
but the
got you.
problem is, it
Go
ain't
ahead.
a fight. It ain't a fight. That's the problem. This ain't a real fight.
And so that make it even worse, Pool. This ain't even a real fight. Y'all in the uproar about it.
You know. Maybe it's some kind of people
Devin
are in the
Haney is
uproar because
Devin Haney is about to
please,
fight Brian Norman, and
please,
Shakur
let
Stevenson
me
is
finish
about to
my thought.
fight Tio.
Let me
Oh,
finish my thought. Let me finish my thought.
my bad.
The reason people are in an uproar is because the way his last fight ended too. That's why people, because everybody, think of Tank as a special fighter, right? His legacy means a lot to a lot of boxing fans out there. So when you get a blemish on your record, I mean, he finally met somebody who was competitive with him, somebody that stood up to him. You know what I'm saying? That this is an interruption of that. He's got that energy flowing from that fight. People want to see him get back in the ring and show his superiority. Then you can go do a sideshow. This is a big interruption from what was going on. You know what I'm saying? You got to get that get back, you know what I'm saying, to build up your legacy. Now people are questioning you. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he's going to retire, I understand. If he just don't, feel like fighting like that no more, I understand. It's his career. He could do what he want to do. But if he's going to continue on and fight, you know what I'm saying? Don't interrupt, you know what I'm saying, one of the most exciting fights that you had, you know what I'm saying, against a competitive competitor as Lamont Roach, and then interrupt it with this clown show. No, we need to see you back in the ring because we know you can beat this guy. A lot of people believe in Tank. You know what I'm saying? I know he got a lot of naysayers, but there's are people like myself, you know what I'm saying, believes he can get by that. I think he really messed up an opportunity when he was hot, you know what I'm saying, to go back in there and you know what I'm saying, get his reputation back, you know what I'm saying, because he went down on one knee in that fight, you know what I'm saying, even though Tank was still, he was still Tank, he was still doing his thing, but he looked like he was highly distracted. He didn't look like he was there 100%. And Lamont Roach kind of gave him a bad look. You know what I'm saying? Lamont looked dominant in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So now to go to a clown show from that to this, it's like people don't want to see this. This is people are pissed because they interrupting the regular boxing. It's almost like a commercial. You know what I'm saying? It's like, Tank, you got the most exciting fights. We don't want to see a clown show. We want to see you back on the boxing side doing your thing. Now, I know we don't control his career. We don't know what Tank is personally going through, you know, but, if he's going to retire, you know what I'm saying? I understand. If he got some other things going on, I understand, you know what I'm saying? Because that wasn't Tank in that ring that night. Not the Tank we know. Or could it be he just met somebody that, you know what I'm saying, that just, was on his level. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. That's why they got to fight it back. That's why they got to run that shit back. That's why people are so fucking pissed, you know what I'm saying, about this fight. It ain't it's in the way. It's in the way. This fight is in the way. And, but we got to take, I understand we got to take Tank's career and him getting money, saying into consideration, you know. But for boxing fans who love the sport of boxing, we want to see, this man work in his craft, in his sport. We don't want to see do exhibitions after you fucking retire. You know what I'm saying? You do that shit afterwards. You know what I'm saying? We don't need that shit while you're active. You know what I mean? Because you're getting older every day. You might get injured. You may not be the same. When you fight, he might fall on you. This big ass lemon motherfucker falls on you, twist your ankle, and now you fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Before you fight, Lamont Roach again. We want you in the same condition that you left from when you fought Lamont Roach. We want you to come back in the same kind of guy, except for your mind state to be, 100%. And you go in there and do, what Tank do. And that's why people are pissed off. It ain't just about some, people just mad because it's Tank Davis and all this shit. He's always making crazy different moves. And when you move like that, it's a pattern. It's a pattern. People, oh man, we know he ain't gonna fight the next guy. Because you know how he moves, like Terrence Crawford. You know, you didn't think he was going to fight the, you know, he fought David Avenesian, walked away from negotiations with Errol Spence Jr. to go fight, pulled that man off a whole nother card, fucked up that card, all the people that was on that undercard, you know what I'm saying? They were unemployed now just to go fight Bud Crawford, you know what I'm saying? In some kind of tune-up, you know what I'm saying? So it's when you're making these kind of moves, people are watching it. It's like, man, can't you just fight the next guy, please? That's all we want. Nobody hating on you. We just want you to
Hey, I
fight the
got
next
something to say
guy.
about
That's it.
Bud too, though.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, what you got?
Yeah,
Well, go ahead, too. You want to say
oh,
something
go
on
ahead,
that?
two cents.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, you know, they were supposed to make the fight. He got arrested, all of this other stuff, and they already had the Jake Paul fight planned. If you listen to the press conference, he tell you they've been working on this fight for 9 months. They had already had all of this planned out. So unfortunately, he had made another fight before he fought another fight. Then he got in trouble, and he was supposed to fight August 16th. All of that was true, and then he got arrested, and they was no longer able to make the fight. So either he's going to fight Lamont Roach after this, which if that's what he's going to do, I don't see a problem with that either. Or maybe he's not going to fight Lamont Roach at all. I don't know. But we can't sit here and act like you always get a rematch or you always get these things or this always happens. And it doesn't. And I'm not defending Tank. I'm just saying that this happens, period. I don't care what fighter this was. I wouldn't be like, oh, you need to do this. You need to fight. I don't do fighters like that. I don't tell fighters what they need to do. I just simply observe and give my opinions about what it is they're doing. Because if you once you understand the business of boxing, you realize all these things you want and what you say and this and that, that shit probably really ain't gonna happen. Because that's just how the business works. The business controls the sport. And it's unfortunate that it ain't how it used to be back in the day and accolades is this important and all of that. And I understand people that appreciate that about boxing and that side of boxing. But at the same time, that's not how the sport is all around no more. And it is what it is. The business controls the sport. Like, that's the truth. Because if the business didn't control the sport, you wouldn't have fighters going over to Saudi Arabia fighting in the middle of the day on undercards. Why are they doing that? Because the business, they going over there to make their money. That's all I'm trying to say.
So a couple things about what you just said. That's not actually true. The way you broke that down, the chronological order of what you said, that the fight was already made with Jake Paul, because Jake Paul is on record saying that yes, me and Tank Davis have been in talks for a fight, but after the draw with Lamont Roach, the plans were put on hold for Tank Davis to rematch Roach, and Jake Paul was waiting for the rematch. Now, after Tank got arrested, he went a whole different direction and chose to fight Jake Paul instead. You said it as if the rematch was never on the table. Jake Paul, out his own mouth, said, "I knew
That's
that
not what
Tank
I
Davis
said.
was supposed
That's
to
not what I
rematch
said.
Roach." You did.
Yeah, he was supposed to rematch Roach, and Jake gave him an ultimatum. You have to fight me by November.
No, he didn't.
He was going
No,
to
he
fight in
didn't.
August.
Jake
Yes, he
Paul is on
did.
record saying that he was waiting for the rematch. He said, "When Tank Davis win, I will fight Jake. After Tank
Bro,
Davis
I'm
win his
telling you what
rematch, I will
happened,
fight
bro.
him."
I'm telling you what happened. Okay, you got it.
But I'm going off what the man said. You trying to tell me what happened based off your I don't know where your
No,
source
I'm
is coming
not.
from, but out of Jake Paul's own mouth, he said that he was waiting on after the rematch. He said that out his own mouth. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, I like you too, Sim, but I'm not gonna go back and forth on what's a fact. That's a fact. That man said that out of his mouth. I believe him more than you. But what I did want to say about Terrence Crawford right quick before we segue, I don't want to change the conversation completely about Bud. But you can hear me, Paul?
Yeah,
Shit
I can
kind
hear
of
you.
died out.
Oh, so what I was saying is, Terrence Crawford. Now you know, Paul. Over the years, people, oh, you hate Bud. You hate Bud. I don't hate Bud Crawford. I don't hate Tank Davis. I just point out fraudulent moves, right? So when Bud beat Era, I respected him. I gave the man the respect. I didn't talk down on him. When he beat Canelo, gave the man the respect. I didn't talk down on him. Now I have a reason to talk down to him. I'll tell you why. After he beat Terrence Crawford, they kept asking him about Benavidez. I would rather him say, well, you know what? David Benavidez is not on my he's not on my radar. We in two different eras, really. You know, I'm leaving. I'm getting ready to leave. This was my era. David Benavidez, this is his era. We in two different weight classes. We naturally two different size men. So I would have respected Crawford for handling it like that. But what he said is, you never know. I might just fight David Benavidez, right? That came out his mouth. Now, mind you, this one I'm hearing. I didn't hear that myself, so y'all correct me if I'm wrong. But from what I'm hearing in reports, this is what Terrence Crawford said. Yeah, I just might fight David, right? So David did what any fighter gonna do. David clapped back. Basically, in so many words, David was like, whenever you ready, I'm ready. And David Benavidez has shown us a pattern that that's the type of man he is. Don't call David Benavidez out because he will fight you. He is that type of man, right? So now you got all these Terrence Crawford fans. Now they trying to backtrack since he said that, man, David need to leave Terrence Crawford alone. Why he want to fight somebody so much smaller? Why did Terrence Crawford put that man's name in his mouth? Why did Terrence Crawford make it like he was ready for David Benavidez if y'all didn't want David Benavidez to clap back and say he'll beat Terrence Crawford up? I don't like the inconsistency, Paul. So I want to know what you think about that. Do you agree with me?
Well, with all due respect, they have been asking Crawford this question forever. Every damn interview. And I know it's the Turk doing, because the Turk is pissed that Bud beat Canelo. That wasn't supposed to happen. That wasn't supposed to happen, people. You know, Bud wasn't supposed to beat Canelo. And the Turk is pissed, and he wants
But how can Turkey know that though, Paul?
You said, how can he know that?
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like, you put a fight together. How are you just gonna be like, I know for sure he's gonna win? Like, how would you know that?
I'm just saying that they took it for granted that Canelo is he came up 3 weight classes. I'm pretty sure whoever he was talking to, and this is just my assumption, that, you know, it was a given that Canelo was going to beat this guy. You seen what they did to the scorecards, right? You know what I'm saying? They was trying to rob that man out of a great victory. Go ahead. They was trying to rob that man out of a great victory. You know? Oh yeah. Yeah, they was trying to rob him. So you could see that they did not want Crawford. You saw the look on Max Kellerman's face. He looked like he was having a fucking stroke. Look at the print on the
I gotta go back and see it.
The print. Look like they was having a fucking conniption. Like, what the fuck is this? Now I don't know if Crawford agreed to lose to this shit, and he decided to turn up on Canelo ass. Then, you know, say, hey man, this is my cash out fight. So, no, I'm just saying, I don't know if he agreed to this shit and he was supposed to like take a dive or something, because the way they were looking, they were like, what is this shit? Right? This man come in there whipping their ass and stuff, whipping Canelo ass, and everybody was like, holy shit,
they had some long
what
faces.
is he doing?
Yeah, they had the long face.
You know? Yeah. So, you know, I think they were supposed to build TKO around Canelo, not Crawford, because Canelo is the one with the cachet, with the big, you know, light celebrity action, you know what I'm saying, with all the deals.
But that's another dumb thing from Turkey. Because Canelo on his way out. Why would you try to build something around him? He's been declining.
So this is what I'm saying,
Canelo could take Canelo. Just he could do what he been doing, y'all. Y'all seen him with these bum ass fights. He could sell that shit. Canelo could sell a bum ass fight better than Crawford could sell a bum ass fight. You know what I'm saying? You would get more sales out of Canelo than you would a Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford never had a successful pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? Never. So, you know, it makes sense that they was trying to build this TKO thing around Canelo, and I think Bud upset the apple cart. You know what I'm saying?
So that's why
now they want David Benavidez. Right now, now they want to get David Benavidez. They want to force this fight because they think David Benavidez gonna go in there and beat Crawford ass, right? But Crawford, they can't make Crawford take that fight. You know what I'm saying? But Crawford could go down to 160. He could do whatever he want to do. He don't have to take that Benavidez fight. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what they do to Crawford. If he fight another
Crawford ain't just gonna take no early fight.
Right, but this is what I'm saying, y'all. What I'm saying about I'm looking at it from a pure point of view, because like I said, one thing about me, I'm consistent. Whether y'all acknowledge it or not, I don't go after nobody for no reason. And I'm not going just in this situation, just because Bud a black man and David Benavidez is not, this is not a racial situation, because David Benavidez has never shown me to be somebody who racially motivated. He ain't never talked down on black people. So I'm going to give him that respect where I'm going to judge this basically from a man to man. I'm going to judge this situation between two men. I'm leaving race out of it. And when I leave race out of it, David Benavidez ain't never talked down on Terrence Crawford. Never. Some people say he picked Canelo. I think I did hear him pick Canelo, but he didn't pick Canelo in a way where he was talking down on Crawford. But somebody in the chat, I think it was Nebraskan Assassin, and you know his name let you know how he coming. He a Bud fan. He said that, Terrence Crawford didn't have David's name in his mouth. He answered the question. Where the way you answer a question is also, that you got to take that into account too, because again, I told y'all, either somebody could have asked Terrence Crawford about David Benavidez. He could have easily, and he would have had the leverage and the logic behind him to say, well, David Benavidez has never been on my radar. And he wasn't. You could have easily said that, but as a fighter and as a man, the moment you tell the world, yes, I can beat that nigga up, David Benavidez got every right to say, do it then. Because you volunteered it. Even though some people trying to look at it like, no, he was asked the question, you still volunteered that animosity or that challenge. David Benavidez never challenged you, but you challenged him directly when you said, yes, I can beat him up. Because that's, if somebody asks you, can you fight somebody? What you're saying is, yes, I think I can beat him. So why wouldn't a fighter like David Benavidez, who also has shown us this is who he is at heart, he has this type of mentality, why all of a sudden we trying to demonize David for doing exactly what we know David was going to do when he heard that? He going to tell, if you tell David Benavidez, I can beat you up, David Benavidez is going to tell you, show me. No matter what you at. David Benavidez is the type of dude, whether you in gloves, you can be in his face on the street. He is the type
you done went out. You went out. You went out, King. Yeah, you kind of low now.
Dude, that when you look him in his face, I don't know what the hell going on. Y'all can hear me now?
No, you good now. You good now.
Yeah, I was just say this. I was just saying that for the Bud fans that's all up in arms, because I hear people right now got their pom-poms out trying to defend Terrence Crawford. Why he want to fight Crawford and Crawford so little? No, bro, that's not where I'm from. Where I'm from, no matter how big you is, when you tell another man you can beat him up, you need to stand on it. And you cannot turn around and retract your statements after he tell you to show him. That's all David did. All David said is, yeah.
King Judah.
What up?
Now, they let Canelo duck this man for 3 years. They ducked this man for 3. I don't think Crawford should fight him for shit. I don't care if he said he beat him up or whatever, because now they just want to see Crawford get beat. You know what I'm saying? They just want Crawford out of there, and they think Benavidez is the man to do it. He's the Turk's Avenger. You know what I'm saying? He's his avenging angel, right? So it's like, I don't want Crawford to fight him just because they want him out. Just because, you know what I'm saying, they let Canelo duck this man for years and years and made him go up to 175. I don't want Crawford to fight him. Why do our fighters got to fight every goddamn body? Why they got to fight Godzilla like Adrian Bronner said? You know what I'm saying?
I agree
like,
with you.
why he said it. People that everybody else does. Fuck that shit. I don't want to see Crawford fight him. You know what I'm saying?
Now let me tell you why I'm gonna use something else. Everybody say I don't like Tank, right? I'm gonna use this situation to defend Tank to show y'all how consistent I am. When Tank Davis was when he was getting into it with Bud and he told everybody he'll knock Terrence Crawford out too, I didn't spare Tank Davis. When Terrence Crawford clapped back and told Tank Davis what he'll do to him, I was with Terrence Crawford. I said, I don't care how small you is. You said you can beat that man up. Show us. Because that man didn't volunteer that animosity. You said you can beat Terrence Crawford up. So go fight Terrence Crawford then. Now in the same breath, now Terrence Crawford telling somebody he can beat somebody way bigger than him. I'm not gonna protect Terrence Crawford either. Show him then. When Devin Haney, let me say this and I'm gonna pass because I know I've been talking for a little while. When Devin Haney fixed his mouth to say he can beat Jaron Ennis, I said as a Devin Haney fan, I don't think you can beat Jaron Ennis. I don't think you can. And I'm the biggest Devin Haney fan.
What? I'm clutching my pearls, King Judah.
But listen, I'm the biggest Devin Haney fan in the world, and I said I don't think you can beat. Listen, I don't think you can beat Jaron Ennis. But one thing I didn't do, I didn't defend Jaron. I didn't defend Devin. Because if Jaron Ennis would have heard that and say, show me, I wasn't going to turn around and say, man, why are you picking on Devin, bro? Man, you going to 154, man, you bigger than Devin. Now, if anybody would ask and tell that he is naturally bigger than Devin. But Devin said, Devin volunteered that smoke. I'm not going to defend it, but I said this too, and I'm going to always feel like this. If Devin Haney fought Jaron Ennis, I don't think he can win, but I'm going to be rooting for him the whole time. The whole time.
Yeah, but look at how he's daring to be great. He's going against, such a dynamic fighter. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to give him the respect. And that's what it's all about. It's not about actually winning the fight. It's that
Right.
this man is taking upon challenges. That's it. You know what I'm saying? When people see you moving like that, you get the respect. But Devin don't seem to be able to get the respect, even though he's taking the challenge. And that bothers me. If you're gonna go for the hard fights, and I think this Brian Norman Jr. fight is going to be a signature fight. He's got to win this fight. He's got to win it because if he
I don't
don't,
think.
you know what I'm saying? Say that. Say what too?
My bad. Go ahead.
No, that's what I was saying. He's got to win this fight. You know what I'm saying? Before he even get to Conor Bean or anybody else that might bolster his reputation as a fighter. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, that damn Ryan that Ryan ass whipping that Ryan Garcia ass whipping. He gotta erase that shit. If you don't get Ryan back in the ring, and I don't know if they're talking about a rematch or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because they were shaking hands or whatever. I saw that. You know what I'm saying? But I think he needs to fight Ryan Garcia again. If he beats Brian, go rematch Ryan Garcia. Get that win. You know what I'm saying? Under your belt. You got to get that win back. You know what I'm saying? Fighting, I think Jerome Boots Ennis is all wrong. At the time when they were talking about fight, he was all wrong for Devin. Devin ain't on that level yet. I can tell you that right now. He would get fucking
That's a bad
destroyed
style matchup.
by
No, I agree, but Paul,
say
what
what
I'm
you say.
trying to tell you is this is why I'm a fan of Devin Haney, because this dude is a fighter. It don't matter if we think he gonna lose. For whatever reason, he think he gonna win. And that's how a fighter think.
Yeah, I just
And
I
that's
just
why I
want him
say
to
I
get
don't think he gonna win.
get the Ryan fight in. Get the Ryan. He needs that. Get his confidence back. Go in there. You saw Rolly go in there and destroy Ryan. You know what I'm saying? All he got
I
is a
mean,
left
but
hook and
poor.
hook.
That's
That's it.
Ryan is a bad style matchup for Devin Haney. I was saying it before the fight, but I do think Devin Haney is gonna beat Brian Norman. If Devin Haney
Hmm.
is not mentally, some type of way from the Ryan fight, I think he gonna beat Brian Norman. I honestly don't understand. I get it, Brian Norman got power, but I watched Brian Norman fight. I kind of feel like people are hyping him a little bit. And if Devin can box and move kind of like how he did Regis, I don't see why he wouldn't beat Brian Norman, honestly.
Well,
Yeah,
If
I
he's
everybody
agree
just
with that.
okay mentally, I see him beating Brian Norman. Now, I don't see him beating Ryan Garcia though, because I think that that's a bad style matchup for Devin Haney.
but he got to fight again. So I'm like, Poor. I'm with you. So I'm not with you. I think he can be Ryan, but I do understand your thought process. You saying you don't believe it, and that's cool. I'm not arguing that, but I'm with Poor. Devin got to fight him again, so he knows and we know, because we do know performance enhancers was on the table. We have to
I mean,
eliminate
it's
that.
not that
Ryan
he
got to
can't
come in
beat him.
cool.
I'm just saying it's a bad style matchup. I'm not saying I no. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he just can't beat him. But I'm just saying it's gonna be a tough fight
I
to
think I
win, in
think
my
Devin
opinion.
I think Devin fought the wrong fight. He pulled back like an amateur. He pulled back like I just don't understand why he fought like that. Even
Because
with the
he's
enhancement
never
and
really fought nobody with the reach. You get what I'm saying? Like his opponents ain't they haven't had
no,
the
but
reach that Ryan
you
has.
shouldn't
Now I'm gonna tell you what
you
BFTV
shouldn't
said, and you
pull
know he
back.
know
You
him,
shouldn't pull back. You pull back at an angle. You don't pull back like that. You know what I'm
right?
saying? I mean, he just
But
with all the experience that he has, he's been trained by the Mayweathers. He's been trained by really good trainers. And I don't know if you
I'm
just
gonna
forget stuff over time. Say what?
No, I was just trying to say, so I agree with both of y'all, but I'm trying to shine a little light on why that fight made it win the way it did. Two reasons. First of all, Bill Haney had a terrible game plan. They actually did want to meet Ryan Garcia and fight him toe to toe. That was stupid to begin with, but everybody make mistakes. Not holding that against him, but I ain't never been shy to say that. But BFTB, he know the Haneys. But he did say, he only said it one time, but this is how I know it's the truth because he didn't bring it up again. He said that the first left hook that Ryan caught Devin with in the first round, he said Devin legs was gone for the rest of the fight. He never recovered from that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I could say that. Yeah,
So
but
that can kind of
Ryan
tell.
Power.
Again,
Mm,
yeah.
Ryan Power and that he just looked massive, man. That dude looked like a monster during that damn fight. He looked like a goddamn beast, and you saw what he looked like in the Rolly fight. You know what I'm saying? You know, he didn't look nowhere near. It looked like he had nowhere near that kind of power. You know, it's like, come on, you know.
Right, so I can see
But
that. I
you
can
know,
see that
Devin,
being a good reason why Devin looks so. Because that make a lot of sense to me, bro. Because you did notice when Devin didn't go down, he won all the rounds that he didn't go down in. So there was still some level of boxing there, but he couldn't beat Devin Haney because, like BFTB said, that when his legs was gone, he couldn't be the Devin Haney that we always seen. That Devin Haney wasn't there that night.
yeah, we're getting knocked in the next week. Usually do that for you. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Right.
you know, once they take the fight at you, bro, it's just, that's it. I mean, that was just, man, I just hate cheaters and shit like that. You know, just messing up the sport. You know,
Ryan ought to
So
get
let me
back in
ask
there.
you guys.
My bad. Go ahead.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do y'all think it will be a rematch and who will win with Canelo and Bud? Y'all think it's going to be a rematch?
You can go 2%. Well, I'll
Two,
go.
you there?
I don't think it's gonna be no rematch, bro. I don't think Canelo. I'm gonna give him credit before I tell y'all this, because, bro, one thing I can say about Canelo, he didn't always fight, the best. We saw him duck David. We seen it. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times throughout his career, Canelo did step in there with some real hitters, bro. He did step in there with some great fighters, bro. And I can't take that from him, especially when we have fighters who refuse to do that right now. There's no way I can shit on Canelo when he did what a lot of fighters refuse to do now. Canelo has been in a situation multiple times where the best person standing across from him saying, I want to fight you. And Canelo has answered the bell. So I can't take that from him. But Canelo don't like to be embarrassed either. I think Canelo feel in that fight, it's no night he can beat Terence Crawford. And I don't think Canelo ever want to be in a fight like that where he know he don't stand a chance. So I don't think it's gonna be no rematch. Now if Turkey got that kind of money, Turkey money, go ahead.
So what are you gonna do with his last three fights? Well, who is Canelo gonna fight his last three fights?
Whoever Turkey want him to fight to build up his own fight promotion, that dude Hamza Shiraz, and whoever else he want him to fight. Canelo can really fight whoever he want. That's still true about Canelo. He don't have to fight Terence Crawford for him to get the worldwide love and adoration. He don't have to do
it. Two.
So I don't think it's going to be a rematch. I don't think
it's
going to be a rematch for that.
Two. You there? You think they're going to rematch? And how you think a rematch would go? Bud and Canelo.
I mean, it's gonna be worse. It would be. He will get stopped. Like, what is Canelo gonna come in there and do different box throw combinations and move around? What he gonna do different?
Maybe bring his jab this time.
When what made it worse? What made it worse? What made it worse for Canelo and why he's so? I know he's not gonna fight Bud again because what Bud brings to the table that nobody else did. Usually Canelo will win these tough, gritty fights against powerful fighters like against Golovkin, or he'll lose to a Bivol who had more size and was more active. And he can always say something like, "Well, he was bigger than me. This guy was more, he was younger than me and bigger than me." In the case of Bivol, when Floyd beat him, he ran. Terence Crawford whooped you
Floyd
going
did not
forward and going backwards. No, I'm just saying that'd be the excuse. That'd be the excuse.
But let me say this.
That'd be the excuse. But Paul, you remember what you said the night we was watching that fight? You said Canelo getting his ass whooped coming and going.
But let me say this, Paul. The only way I see a rematch even being a little bit competitive is if Canelo was injured or had an injury going on that we didn't know about. That's the only way I would be like, okay, cool, let's see a rematch. Because other than that, what you gonna do different, Canelo? Because you telling me that was you and Eddie Reynoso game plan was to load up on shots and throw hooks. That was y'all game plan. Even though he was killing Crawford's body in the beginning of the fight, and I was kind of like, if he keep getting Crawford to the body, Crawford not gonna be moving around, and by the end of the fight, he gonna be standing in front of him. But that never happened. And then Canelo gassed out, and he just kept doing the same stupid shit over and over. Like, I don't understand why Canelo didn't throw no combinations. Because if you watch the beginning of the fight, he was breaking the distance. I don't know why he didn't let his hands go.
That counter punching,
because
Terence Crawford waiting.
Because he got stamina. He got stamina issues. You know what I'm saying? I saw the part in there where Eddie Reynoso was telling him, "You got to pick it up, man. You got to throw more punches. You know what I'm saying? I said, it's over for this dude because he don't throw. He's not used to throwing a lot of punches. He used to dominating the way he dominates. He's used to working at a pace, right? So I said, man, you know what I'm saying? I could see the way, Crawford was waiting him out. He was getting in his punches till he got to the point where he got desperate. You know what I'm saying? He started really trying to get at Crawford and running in the shots. He got tired of being countered. He started getting tired. You know what I'm saying? And it was kind of like over because he didn't have a jab going in. You're going in with hooks. Crawford was just timing your ass off your back foot. Soon as he saw your back foot coming, he knew you were off balance. He knew you wasn't fit to throw a punch. When he moved, he knew you wasn't fit to throw a punch. I mean, they studied him to a T. You know what I'm saying? So Canelo, I mean, I just don't understand how knowing what's coming, another undisputed champion like Crawford, he's got a high boxing IQ. You know that he make adjustments on the fly. Canelo made no adjustments in the fight. You know what I'm saying? But as a rematch, I'm wondering, could possibly, I know they're gonna cheat him on the cards. There's no way in the world Crawford would be able to fight this man unless he knocked him out and come out on top on them scorecards. That if I were Crawford, I would never take that rematch because they definitely gonna cheat his ass in the second fight. You know what
I
I'm saying?
think
They're
another
gonna
thing
cheat.
that a lot
If
of
he
people.
don't get the knockout, yeah.
No,
So
I say
let me say this too.
a lot
I
of what
wanted to.
people are underestimating too is about Canelo is that, like, the reason I don't think it's going to be a rematch because I don't think people, bro, Canelo really don't have nothing else to prove. Like Canelo can ride off into the sunset and fight whatever fights he wants. Because again, I don't like Canelo. I'm not a fan, but I'm not a liar either. This man, his legacy is cemented already. Canelo's his Hall of Fame ballot. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer already. He don't have nothing to prove.
I wanted to respond to what you said about Crawford fighting Benavidez.
Okay.
Paul, I kind of agree with that, kind of, but I think it's the same way for Benavidez too, right?
What you mean?
In what way? In what way?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Oh, okay, I had a phone call. I didn't already went up to 75. I done had 2 fights there. Y'all wouldn't let me and Canelo never fall, but now all of a sudden you want me to come back down and beat Crawford for undisputed. And I get it, it's Terrence Crawford, but to me personally, I feel like Benavidez going to beat Terrence Crawford for undisputed. Like, is that really like how much credit would Benavidez get for beating Terrence Crawford for undisputed? He damn near a light heavyweight. You get what I'm saying?
Right. So
Yeah.
my answer to that, if I can answer first, Paul, my answer to that is this come down. I see what you're saying about the mindset from Benavidez and what kind of credit he get. I can see that from that side of point of view, but I'm looking at it from what Benavidez showed me the type of person he is. Benavidez, the type of person, the accolades is not what's important. You went publicly and told people you can beat me up, so now I want you to show me. As far as I'm concerned, that's who David Benavidez is. That's the type of man he is. So that's why he'll do it.
I mean, I'm sure they'll both do it if the money right, but I'm just saying, like, it's kind of like y'all let Canelo play. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let Canelo play around and play with, and then you want to throw Crawford down there to fight Benavidez. Like, I don't
Well,
know.
I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna give you an example why I say that
I
about
don't.
Benavidez and
I
Poor.
don't want.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I don't want it, man. I told you. You know what I'm saying? I just think they want to get Crawford beat. They want him to be humiliated, and I think David B got the skills and the weight size to do it. At first, they were
Yeah,
saying like no. Most guys were saying no. You know what I'm saying?
right.
David didn't want none of Bud, but they kept asking Bud, and I know, and that's why I say that's the Turk influence on the media because they kept like the man said no. Why you keep asking him? Is he gonna fight David Benavidez if he said no? You know what I'm saying? They don't want that fight, but they kept asking him, You know, go ahead.
So my thing is, well, and I feel you on that too, but my thing is, bro, Crawford is no stranger. This man is a veteran, bro. Terrence Crawford knows exactly how to deal with the media. He don't make a mistake and say nothing. They didn't pressure him or make him mad to the point he just spit that out. We know Terrence Crawford competitive, and he have a type of mind also too, where if you keep insinuating somebody can beat him, his natural inclination is to say, no, I'm gonna win. This just who he is, right? What I'm saying is, I'm not letting Terrence Crawford off the hook for that.
And when it comes to David Benavidez, I'm gonna give you an example. I'm not the big Paul, you know I'm not the biggest fan of David Benavidez because I'm not the biggest fan of his style. But I do know this man is almost unbeatable right now. I acknowledge the fact that I don't see nobody that can beat him right now. But when it comes to him, look what happened with the Morrell situation. Paul, you remember how much I used to argue with you telling you Morrell gonna beat David Benavidez? And they had a lot of people that thought that too. And the thing is, we knew that David Benavidez had more cachet, right? So he didn't even have to fight Morrell. But the fact that it was circulating to Benavidez that people thought Morrell can beat him, he took that fight. But Benavidez didn't have to fight David Morrell. He didn't. He took that fight just because everybody said Morrell can beat him. And after that, that's what made me start liking David Benavidez. I said, this nigga heard, because you know, as fans, we always make our fantasy fights up. We do it to every fighter, and most of the time they don't pay attention to us. David Benavidez heard that and say, I'm gonna fight him. He did it.
I told you about the Mexican Monster. I made you a fan.
Well, one thing I do know, well, I can't say this. He can't, nobody can beat David, bro. And I'm gonna tell you why. He got a rare combination, right? Of size, skill, hand speed, aggressiveness, and a chin. We don't have nobody right now.
Morrell rock Benavidez though. Like Morrell in the beginning of that
Morrell
fight.
dog.
Morrell. I think Benavidez is beatable. I would say he's beatable. Now, who could beat him? I don't know. But I like David Benavidez. But I think the more he move up, the more beatable he becomes.
He an anomaly.
He gonna have trouble with Bill.
Anomaly, bro.
Let me tell y'all something. He gonna have motherfucking problems with Bivol. Bivol is a master boxer. That's gonna be the top fight at 175. I think Benavidez is getting a little bit too old, a little bit long in the tooth. So I think Bivol is gonna be the fight because Bivol is highly skilled, y'all. Don't underestimate Bivol. Bivol is a special fighter.
He's coming off surgery though, fool.
Say that again.
Ain't he coming off back surgery?
I didn't read anything about that, but if he is, that's kind of bad.
I think was that Bivol? Somebody had a back surgery or something.
I hope it wasn't Bivol because that's gonna be the undisputed fight. Cause I think Benavidez is old as shit. I think he's almost like 41 or something like that.
Yeah, he's too old. He's too old.
Yeah, he's going down. I don't know how. I got my suspicions about him. You know what I'm saying?
You remember he took them HGH. You remember he tested positive for them growth hormones. That's when I knew. I saw he old.
And see that
he taking growth hormones just to keep up.
That's what. That's because that power he got is unnatural. That nigga got comic book strength. You know what I'm saying? Right. That nigga busting down brick walls and shit like the Thing or something.
You got to look at his physique too. That nigga physique. He damn near 40, bro, but he got the body of a 22-year-old. His physique too. You know what I'm saying, bro? Nah, bro, that shit not natural, bro.
He must be drinking testosterone and shit out there. He says body is my cousin. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see, Bivol. Man, one of the fights that's I'm kind of like limp on is that Fundora versus Thurman fight. And I don't understand that fight.
That's a spectacle, bro. Like it's not going because no matter who wins, what do we learn? Nothing.
I mean, we all know, everybody know that Fundora's going to destroy that kid, man. Now, if Thurman pulled that shit off, that's going to be the story of the year.
You're not giving Thurman no chance?
Finally, hell no. No.
I'm going to tell you.
Thurman get back here. You saw what Holtecita Lopez did to that fool. You know what I'm saying?
No, you remember that fight Thurman had against you remember that fight, that first comeback he had when he had that fight against Barrios? Remember that left hook? He kept timing and kept coming in and he was doing damage. He was doing damage with that left hook. Bro, I believe Fundora he's susceptible to getting hit with big shots like that, and we done seen him go down. I think Keith Thurman got the skill, the experience. You say what?
He ain't gonna be able to stay in there long. Not on no Fundora. Fundora is a great insight. He goes straight to Thurman's stomach. It's over. It's over. I don't know what it is about Thurman's stomach. It's just Achilles heel. You know, I mean, that nigga gone. You hit him in the stomach 2 times, that nigga's out of here. He got him $1 million. He gonna disappear. He's drinking margaritas somewhere in goddamn Florida. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see,
That's
but
just
with Fundora,
what I see.
no, I'm with you, but with Fundora too, bro. I'm kind of like off on Fundora, bro, because I'm looking at you. Hey, now mind you, the same criticism I got from him is the criticism I had for David Benavidez. I'm like, bro, you way bigger than
Mm.
everybody else, and you using that size to win. I'm ready to see you move up. David did that. I don't have no criticism for David. He done moved up the niggas his size. Fundora need to do the same thing.
But why
Mm.
Fundora need to move up? You can still make the weight, even though Fundora is rehydrating heavy as hell. I heard he rehydrating back to 180. But
But my
Fundora
thing
can
is
make
why
54
this all
though.
I'm
He
gonna
can
ask
make
you.
it.
This all I'm gonna ask you, and I ain't never heard you say this. But see that what you said. Why do he need to move up if he's still making the weight? Well, Devin Haney got criticized for being a weight bully his whole career, even though he was making weight. So why is Fundora free of that same criticism?
He not. People point that out all the time. But it is what it is. Like it's this new
Yeah.
thing that as long as you make the weight. Like that's the thing. That's the trend. Devin Haney a trendsetter. As long as you make the weight. So everybody on as long as you make the weight kick. So I'm just saying the same thing. Shit, as long as you make the weight.
I mean, I guess I'm
But
just
it's not
saying.
even a
Well, the
Devin
reason,
Haney. That's
the
not.
reason,
This is the truth. That's not a Devin Haney thing. That's what all these boxers are doing. It's just I think Devin Haney had a lot of attention on it because he's fighting smaller guys and he's way bigger type of thing. So you know how boxing fans are. They're gonna call him away, bully, do all this extra
but
shit. But
Crawford and Spence, they should have been fighting at 160, middleweight, right? They said
hmm
Crawford,
hmm
what it was, Omax said that he made Crawford go down there so he can have the advantage, right? He was able to have the discipline to boil down, what I'm saying, to 135, what I'm saying, move up, what I'm saying. So, like
and that's
like
why
you
we thought
said,
he ain't had
these
no
fighters,
chin. Well, you
yeah,
know that's why we
because he
thought he
was
ain't had no
depleted.
chin because we thought he was weight drained. I mean, we thought
Mm.
it's like we was deceived, right? We thinking he's small, so when he go up, we like, oh, he too small. When in reality, he too big, and we thinking
He
he
was
getting rocked
big,
and wobbled because he ain't got no chin. When really, you getting rocked and
right?
wobbled because you weight drained.
He was weight drained, and you know what? And you hit the
And you
nail
know
on the
what,
head. And I
too?
try to
You
tell
know what, y'all? You got to be careful when you're draining yourself to those little sizes, because you saw what happened with Oscar De La Hoya tried to shrink down to fight Pacquiao. That he was fucked up. You
Yep.
got to be scientifically correct in the way you lose the weight and the way you rehydrate so you don't be lack of energy. We saw Roy Jones lose energy in a fight because he came down from heavyweight. You see, he looked sluggish. You know what I'm saying? He didn't look
hmm
like Roy Jones Jr. You know what I'm saying? Because when they
you.
take that weight off, they better find a nutritionist. They better find the right people, because if you do it wrong, you're gonna get your ass beat.
Right, and one thing
You're gonna
nobody
get to
talk
look
about.
at it.
One thing,
You saw what Haney looked like against Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? That weight
I
drain
think
was
Haney messed
killing
up
him
his
in that
weight
round.
cut for the Ryan fight too. I think Haney messed up his weight cut for that Ryan fight too.
Yeah, it's this
yeah,
weight cut, man. It's kind of fucked up because we're not really getting the full picture of what these fighters look like at their natural weights. But I understand it. I understand cutting maybe 7 pounds off your natural weight, but man, the shit that they doing now is crazy. It's
yeah,
just
and I
for
think with
years and
Devin,
years fighting.
yeah,
Hmm.
and I think with Devin, like what 2 Cents was saying about how he messed up his weight cut for Ryan, I agree. I actually think Devin is way bigger than we think. He like another Terrence Crawford, but the difference is Terrence Crawford was able to survive moving up them weights that slow. Is because even when Terrence Crawford got rocked, he had the power to give it back. See, that's why Devin needed to just go to the weight he comfortable in, because if your chin not where it's supposed to be because you're draining yourself, you don't have the type of power to give that type of punishment back. It'd be better for you to just gain the weight you need so you can absorb that punishment and win on points, right? So I don't even think Devin gonna stay at 147 long. That's me personally. Now, mind you,
But
I
you
don't
know
know his
what?
body. I
I
don't know his
think
body.
that I can't even say, and I'm gonna say this. I can't even say that I really I'm not even gonna get into that. But I think that Devin has a way bigger frame than Terrence Crawford. And I'm gonna say, I can't even really say that I believe Bomac that Crawford was really just that big that whole time, but I think that
Nah, he big.
Devin has a way bigger frame than Terrence Crawford.
I don't believe it. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I don't believe it. Because I'm gonna tell you two reasons why. Because I ain't never met Terrence Crawford personally or Devin, right? So I can't tell you I actually sized him up. But the reason I don't believe it is because I'm looking at Terrence Crawford when he fought. You know, remember when he first fought Spence? The whole narrative was Spence was bigger. Crawford is little. On fight night, Crawford was bigger than Spence. The whole narrative against Canelo and Crawford is that Crawford was bigger. Canelo was bigger and Crawford was little. On fight night, I don't know what y'all seen, but Crawford was bigger than Canelo. He was physically bigger than Canelo. Every time I seen Crawford move up,
Yeah, that's what
he
I
stepped
saw
into
that.
the ring
I
as the
saw that.
bigger fighter. So this let
Yeah,
me know
that
this
shit
man has
crazy.
always been bigger than what we thought he was. Because I know this being, because I'm not a small dude and I played football. I played football my whole life. Now, mind you, I'm nowhere near as big as I was when I was lifting weights, playing. I was a linebacker, right? But one thing about you, once you have a natural body size, it's nothing for me to put that kind of weight back on. So somebody will see me now and they wouldn't imagine how big I can actually get. Because once your body has made it to a certain point, it can get back there.
Imagine
So
Crawford getting in the ring bigger than Benavidez.
I don't think he that big. That's why I don't like the fact. I don't like the fact that he let that come out his mouth. Because no, I don't believe you that big. I don't. I know you bigger than what we thought you was, but I don't think you that big.
But no matter what come out of his mouth, King Judah, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that's the leap. I think that's a bridge too far. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah, he
saying? I
can't beat
think
him, bro. He
he'll
can't
be
beat him.
giving them. I think he'll be falling right. I think he'll be falling right into their hands. If he
I
did.
can
Now
hear the
he'll
bud buddy
walk out with
now.
a bag.
Benavidez will beat the dog
Oh,
shit out of
they'll be.
Crawford. Not because
I
Crawford
think so
can't fight.
too, man. Because you
It's
know
just
why?
it's just
You
the
know
weight too
why?
big. The weight too
Because
different.
because no matter how Crawford will counter him, David is still coming. He punches in combinations. You know what I'm saying? He's always in pursuit of you. You know what I'm saying? He's always cutting off the ring. He's always coming at you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't see Crawford handling that action like that. No, he needs time to think. David put real pressure on you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And David got the
Because
kind of mentality
Canelo
that
couldn't
even if
do that.
oh, my bad, go ahead. Yeah.
No,
Bud got
Canelo
the
couldn't
skill.
do
It's
that.
the skill, Pool. It's the skill. It's the skill, Pool. Bud got the most skill. It's not about the size. It's the skill. Bud is the most
Uh,
skillful fighter we've
Sometimes,
ever seen.
sometimes, sometimes it's about skill, and sometimes it ain't.
Well,
Skill is
in
still
this
skill
situation,
until
and
you just over fucking powered. So
yeah, in this
until you just
situation,
over
his
fucking
skill.
powered.
Yeah, his skill not gonna help him against Benavidez because I'm looking at, like you said, Paul. It's not just being better than David, right? And I'm gonna give Terrence Crawford the benefit of the doubt to say that if Terrence Crawford made the weight to fight this man, Terrence Crawford is good enough to win rounds. Terrence Crawford might also be good enough to hurt David. I'm gonna give him that, right? Let's say hypothetically, I'm gonna give him the fact that he might be able to hurt David. The problem is David mentality. You hurting him is not gonna stop him. When he recover, he gonna be the same monster he was before you hurt him.
What
So
they
that's
call
why I
him?
don't see him doing it. I don't see him beating him because, like I say, even if
What
you can
they
pull
call
off,
David?
he the Mexican monster, and even if you can't hurt him, again, I just say if you can't stop David clean, just hurting him not going to be enough because you're not going to alter his mentality. As soon as he recover, he going to be a monster again.
Look at you talking about David Benavidez. You was all about
I
you
like
was
him, bro.
all about
Like
David
I say,
Morrell
the
Jr. I
fighter.
was trying to tell your ass.
Man, no,
Yeah,
I'm
you
telling
talking
you,
about David Morrell Jr. You had money.
David is an anomaly. David isn't. I think I said it before. You know who David remind me of? I'm about to give y'all an analogy. Nobody see it yet. This may come up 10 years from now when somebody see this. David is an anomaly, bro. In the comparison I have is somebody y'all will never imagine because they different, but they have the same impact to me. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was an anomaly because of his
Hell
size and his speed. No, I'm not saying to stop. Let me finish right quick. I'm saying they anomalies because they bring in two things that's not supposed to exist at the same
no.
time.
Oh, I see what you're
Muhammad
saying.
Ali,
I see what you're saying.
Muhammad Ali brought extreme size and strength, and he combined that with speed and gracefulness that's not supposed to happen. That's why you never seen it again. David Benavidez is bringing size with hand speed, right? That's not supposed to exist. A man that big is not supposed to have hands that fast. And that's why he's in a problem for everybody because his fast hands he tagging you the whole time.
and you can't do nothing about it because you're not fast as him with his hands. You also, most of the time, you're not big as him either. So you can't bully him to overcompensate for the fact that his hands faster than you. David is an anomaly. That's why he can't be beat.
Let me tell you why I like that nigga. I like cause that nigga just go straight to your ass. He come out there, slap your ass with a jab real quick, nigga. You know what I'm saying? He get busy real quick. He come and step it to you straight up. I love that shit about David. You know, and he nasty with it too. You know what I'm saying? With them hands. You know what I'm saying? The boy is bad, man. That boy there, I got to see him in Bivol. That's who I want to see. I don't want to see Crawford nowhere. Crawford 38, he old. David is 28 years old. You know what I'm
So you
saying?
think
It's like he
Bivol
was
can
destroyed.
outbox him, fool? How you see that fight going? I'm just trying to think about
I
that. How you,
think I just like you were saying now, when you talk about size and skills, you know what I'm saying? Bivol, you know, if he's okay, if he's 100%, that's gonna be a good ass fight. I'm not saying that he could beat David, but I'm just saying like it'll be a good one. He's gonna have to get through that jab. He's gonna have to get through them punches. If he come in, see David like to come straight on a lot, even though he does a little bit of bob and weaving. I don't know if he can fuck with Bivol, you know what I'm saying, coming straight forward like he do. You know, he might get fucked up. You know what I'm saying, coming
oh,
straight on
Bivol
with
ain't got
Bivol.
no
Bivol
pop
throws
like
nothing
that. He
but
gonna
straight
get
punches.
walked down.
That's what I was gonna say.
You
I
say
was
he
gonna
got
say
no
that.
you say
Go ahead.
he ain't got no pop, you say?
Bivol ain't got no pop like that. He gonna get walked down.
He
He
got
got
enough to keep you
combinations. His
honest.
combinations,
Yeah, he got enough to
he's
keep you
got a
honest.
he's
Yeah.
got a cumulative power. And he throws a lot. He throws a lot. And I know David keeps coming. But I mean, I'll roll with David as for the win, but it's going to be hard because the boy is skilled. Bivol is skilled, man. He highly
Right, he
skilled.
is.
But I do
But
think
y'all know I like.
I do think. Go ahead.
No, I was saying y'all know I like outside fighters. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to say this, bro, but I'm looking at the way David. I told y'all all the skills he bring in one package, bro. I like outside fighters that can neutralize come forward fighters. I don't think nobody can stop David from walking them down. Nobody. After what I seen what happened with Morrell had all the size, all the power, all the heart, all the skills to be somebody that can stop David from bullying him, and David bullied him.
But Morel ain't had the
But
experience though. And that's why I picked
I was just about
Benavidez
to
to
say that.
win because
See,
he got everything to beat him, but he just didn't have the experience, and I think that showed in the
Right.
fight.
yep, yep. And what did I tell you? What did I tell you, Judah? I said he don't have the experience yet.
Yeah, you
You know,
did
I
say that.
told you that.
You did. I ain't believe it,
That
but
pressure bust fight.
again, I
Hmm.
think even bro, David just bringing some shit I ain't never seen. Because I told you I don't like his style, and I hate to admit I don't see nobody that can box him without getting walked down. And what Beaver did against Bit of BL, that was good. You know, and again, he didn't have like Poole say, he don't have that one stopping power that can stop you in your tracks. But when he put them punches together, you're gonna respect it. I just don't think you can do that enough to David in a 12-round fight for him not to get the best of you. Because let me tell you something, I'm gonna break this down, I'm gonna break something else down for y'all. Do y'all remember that first fight that Biver had with Bit of BL where people thought he lost? I thought he won the first one too, but we can argue about that later. But the biggest difference was people said he started to gas at the end, and that's what made Bit of BL, get the nod. So what he did in the second fight, if y'all remember how the second fight went, Bivol, he didn't turn on the gas at first. He was real laxed in the first half of the fight. He put everything he had into the second half of the fight. That's why he dominated the second half. This tells me that I ain't saying you got a gas tank issue, but when you fighting a pressure fighter, they make you move more and punch more to keep them honest. If you gassed out with a bit of BF pressure and output, you are going to gas against Benavidez. He gonna gas you out, and that's where the problem gonna start.
Yes,
That'd be a good
sir.
fight.
Y'all know,
That'd be a good fight.
M. Billy and Lester Martinez gonna fight again. You know, they seem to be trying to make that the fight of the century. You know, since they had a good fight on that Canelo Bud Crawford undercard. They fight. Them guys are gonna fight again. I'm kind of excited about that shit because
Talking about that
the
white
shit was
dude,
rocking.
that white dude.
It's the dude and it's the Hispanic guy that's in Bud Crawford camp. You know what I'm saying? The dude that you ain't see them fight. I
No, I
think
thought
they're
in Billy
at
fought. I thought
super.
in Billy fought this white dude that had good feet.
No, it was Lester Martinez. You know what I'm saying?
Who that
Yeah, that
was
was
we were
Lester
watching? They had that
Martinez.
white boy from Ireland, Pool. Me and you was watching. He had them good feet. That white boy.
Oh, that was Vargas. That was Vargas Jr.
Oh, sure was. All right, I'm tripping, bro. I don't know what the hell I thought
Yeah,
that
that was
was. That.
Vargas Jr. And now I was now too, wasn't it? She wasn't impressed by the white boy. I thought the white boy was good.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
oh, you
saying?
Yeah,
talking about
I thought it,
The Walsh guy? What was his name? Callium Walsh?
yeah,
Was
yeah,
that his name?
I think he
Callum
was
Watts.
good.
She
I
wasn't
liked
impressed.
him, bro. Hey,
I,
he had
I, I
some.
thought he was
He was
motherfucking.
smooth, bro. He was smooth and he was confident
That's
too. I
what I
think he was.
thought
He
too.
had
I was like, this
54.
nigga, yeah. Yeah, he had 50. I thought I keep saying super middleweight, but he had 54. Yeah,
That
the
man is
boy, the
smooth
boy
at
was cook.
54. Y'all, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Who is he beating at 54?
I think no. This thing.
Man,
I
he's
don't think he
starting out.
better. I
He
ain't
just
saying he
starting out.
better. I ain't saying he better than them people at 54. I'm telling you, he got the skills to be
Yeah,
a
he's just starting out.
nobody gonna dominate him at 54. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's gonna be dominated even if he lose.
hmm Yeah, I don't know why David Morrell chose the style that he was doing. Why didn't he do more movement? You know what I'm saying? Because he's athletic and but that's that inexperienced shit. You know what I'm saying? That's he just wasn't experienced. He wasn't ready for a dude to come to him like that. You know what I'm saying? He's so used to hitting somebody and they are kind of like gun shy of his power. But David don't give a fuck about no power. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what I'm
That's what
saying.
I'm
That's
trying
what's
to tell you.
scary. That's what's scary, Pool. Because all right, look at somebody like a Mike Tyson, right? You remember Tyson. Now another person that remind me, as far as that pressure and the chin together, would be like a Joe Frazier, right? They apply pressure on you that's different because you're dealing with somebody that's not gonna stop. He is a legitimate crazy man in the ring with you that wants to hurt you, like a Mike Tyson, a Frazier, right? The difference is between even with a Mike Tyson is that David Benavidez has a chin that no matter who land on it, it makes no effect on him. I think that play on you after a while when you got this crazy ass dude trying to hurt you and your best shot's not doing nothing to him. And he never take a break.
Man said it on right.
David Benavidez don't know how to fight slow. He don't know how to pace himself. All he know how to do is kill.
Mm-mm. But that's why that Bivol fight gonna be interesting. That's gonna be his only stop to undisputed at 175. It says SJ says if Plant was a 12-round fighter, said he would have beat Davis. Say he outboxed everybody. You know what I'm saying? But after round six, like Anthony Yard, you know what I'm saying? Zab Judah, it's certain 6-round fighters, they look great. Those 6 rounds, they look like unbeatable. But when they hit that 6th round, they just don't have the juice to go the full length. Zab Judah still talking shit about that damn fight, talking about, like he got the best of Floyd. Now I never seen anybody do Floyd the way Zab Judah did, but he's still talking shit like, I would have beat Floyd. And I'm like, nigga, what you talking about? Nigga, you fell apart and hit that man in the nuts and shit. And the
Right. Look,
whole ring went crazy. The
they
whole
gotta
ring.
hold
Roger
on to
Mayweather was choking your ass out. I've
they
never
gotta hold
seen
on to
Roger
their win.
Mayweather choke somebody out.
Yeah,
Say
look,
that
they got
again.
to hold on to the little victories they get. Y'all remember, I always say this. I don't like him no more. I can't stand Antonio Tarver. I don't like him for his commentary because he a coon. But with that
Oh
being
no.
said,
Oh no.
you surviving.
Oh
He's surviving off a win off Roy. Come on, Pool. He's surviving off a win off Roy Jones Jr. That's all he's surviving off. That's his claim to
a
fame.
Roy that came down, lost what? 20 pounds of muscle and shit, you know what I'm saying? Just to
Right,
fight his ass. You know what I'm
right.
saying? It's like shit. You
That's his
know,
only claim to
they
fame,
should
though.
have fought
Like
at a
outside
catch
of
weight.
that, yeah, outside of that, Tarver ain't did nothing, bro. That's your claim to fame. And I always say that about Roy Jones Jr. His competitiveness is what broke him down. You too competitive. First of all, Roy was too naturally talented to want to learn real fundamentals. So when his age caught up to him, that was one strike against him. The second thing is you so competitive that instead of you making Tarver come up to fight you, you decided to go to him and you had all the cachet. You that competitive.
But when somebody been training for you for years, and you fighting over here, but somebody training specifically for you, what I'm saying, they got the advantage. You know what I'm saying? You moving on in your career, you fighting heavyweights and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Then you come back down. This man has been training 3 years just for your ass. You know what I'm saying? So, he always was, training for Roy. So he knew exactly You know, so he was ready. He was ready for Roy. I think
And
Roy beat him in the first fight though.
I think they called it a draw or
Roy
something.
beat him.
That's another reason. That's another reason I hate him, though. Poor look, I'm gonna be real with y'all. He scarred me. You know, I was
No,
little when that fight
I
happened.
think Roy won that. It wasn't no draw. It wasn't no draw.
Oh, it wasn't.
Roy won
What?
that first.
He
Uh-uh.
scarred me though. Tarver scarred me, poor. I'm gonna be real with y'all. King Judah gonna be real with y'all right quick. That dude scarred me because I was a big Roy Jones fan at that time, right? And after the first fight happened, I was waiting. You know, I'm little, so my sense of time not like it is now. For the rematch to happen, that felt like 10 years to me because I'm little. I thought I was never gonna see the rematch, right? But when the fight happened, I never remember, bro. I never forget when the rematch happened. He looked Roy in the face and said, "Any excuses tonight, Roy?" And in my mind, I said, "Yeah, you're gonna pay for that. Roy about to show you now." For Roy to go in there and get knocked out, that shit scarred me. But that was the first time I watched my favorite fighter get done bad, bro. That shit scarred me, bro.
Hmm. Oh yeah, I was fucked up too, man. I was right there watching this shit. I was like, God damn. I was like, look at this shit. And then he went down. He went down. Oh shit, it was bad. You know, I don't know hey, I ain't even watched that fight since then, bro.
Man,
I
that
ain't
shit
watched
hurt
this
me,
shit
bro.
since I saw it.
That's
Yeah,
the
you know what
reason
I'm
it's so
saying?
bad because my family wasn't into boxing. I come from a football family, but I convinced the whole family to watch that fight. They bought it just for me, and I'm in there talking about how good Roy Jones Jr. is, bro. He got flatlined.
Hmm. You know, yeah, I could say Mike McCallum was a bad motherfucker, man. That they called him the professor, they called him the body snatch. I never seen a fighter with like two damn nicknames, you know what I'm saying? But Mike was a bad motherfucker. When he beat Julian Jackson, nobody thought that anybody could beat Julian Jackson, bro. But Mike, man, Mike went in there and made that shit. It was a hard fight, but it was a beautiful display of boxing and how to break down a bad motherfucker, man. That dude there, that's why Marvin never fucked with Mike McCallum, because he knew what time it was. You know what I'm saying? Mike McCallum was coming. And you know, I guess Marvin, you know, had to let him off the hook because he fought nothing but tough battles back then. So you can't say he was a coward or nothing. He just wanted big money fights, and Mike McCallum wasn't a name back then. You know, he was moving up, and Mike was fighting some really good fights back then. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was the competition at the different weight classes back then was different than now. It was packed with nothing but tough dudes. You know what I'm saying? Even the journeyman was tough. So you know, it was a little spoiled back then, but Mike McCallum was special, man. You know, Roy gave him a money grab fight. That wasn't a real fight, you know, because Roy really, him and Mike McCallum was friends, you know. So you know, he gave him a little alley oop to make some money and stuff. You know, you could tell that wasn't a real fight. Just two friends making money in the ring. You know, just helping Mike McCallum out. You know, and that you know, Roy was cool for that. You know, give him a payday. You know, what I'm saying, while he was on top. And I love Roy for that, man. He was cool. You know, when he did that for Mike. You know, but Mike looked good though in there, even though he was an old timer, you know, saying trying to fight Roy and stuff, you know, but we knew what time it was. It says Mike threw counters to the body, which is risky, but heavy reward move. He says Brian Norman throws counters like that too. He said EJ before the car crash was solid at that too. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you got a chin, you know, but I don't think if Devin is in good shape and stays and bite. I don't know. He got to show me that he can cut that ring off on Dev, and I don't know what Dev chin is like, but as he escaping, man, he's gonna have to, put them dukes up and put the high guard up and get up out of there like Crawford did when he fought Canelo, and escape them, when he get it back against the ropes. As long as he don't do that little dip shit he used to do, that little what was it that Philly, that little half
I
Philly
don't
shit,
think
that
he's
shit
gonna
he used to
stop
do.
that. I think that's a habit,
You
Paul.
know, if he, if
Well, you know,
he
in his
if he
last
stopped
fight,
that shit.
But you know what? He might move like he did in the Ramirez fight. And this is what people don't say about that Ramirez fight, right? I get it, Devin was running around. But I watched that fight. Devin was punching Ramirez. He was hitting Ramirez with some shots. Go back and watch that fight and see how hard he was punching Ramirez. And I think that fight showed that he's fine physically. So really the only thing with Devin Haney would be where his mental space is for this fight. I'm watching you run around for 12 rounds. You're fine physically. You can move laterally. You can punch. You can get out the way. All of that is fine. So,
Right. I agree with that. I just think with
But I just
Devin,
think he's nervous. He was nervous. He had to be careful so that he don't lose that fight. I think all that pressure, you know, was on
true,
top
but
of
what
him. Also he had, he had that trauma from getting knocked out. You know what I'm saying?
but my
When
thing is, I
motherfucker
don't
getting
know
knocked,
why
Roy
people
was
don't
the
talk
same
about.
way.
Yeah, I don't know why people don't talk about the
Talk
obvious.
about
I get it, bro. You know, he was nervous. Yeah, he was nervous, right? But I think more than anything, Devin don't get the benefit of doubt that everybody else get when they've been out the ring for a year. This man was rusty too. Nobody talk about he had been out the ring for a year. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of what people think is fear or him being gun shy, a lot of that is just rust. Because a couple times, bro,
yeah,
Ramirez was
but not
walking
for
up
the
could
and
be that.
whole
walk up to
fight,
Devin.
though, King Judah. Not after like 4 or 5 rounds, I was like, okay, Devin about to pick it up. And he just never picked it up. And you creating
But
the angles and
no,
you
I
not taking
agree. I agree. He was real careful, like Poole say. He thought he was gonna get that Ryan Garcia rematch. He didn't want nothing to mess that up. But I do think Russ played a part. So I'm gonna tell you why I saw the Russ was going on with Devin. When Ramirez was able to walk up to Devin sometimes and just jab Devin in the face. Devin ain't never let nobody just jab on him, especially somebody like him, Ramirez. That was Rust. Devin head kept snapping back, and I'm like, bro, he didn't even set that jab up. He just walked up to you and jabbed you in your face. And that's Russ. Russ do that to somebody. Like nothing, fear don't make you sit there and get hit by a jab. That's timing. That's a timing issue.
And I think Ramirez being out the ring for a while hurt him too because he was a lot better than that. Or did I just overestimate what Ramirez was? You know what I'm saying? Because
I think he was like
he
done
just
at
looked.
that point.
He was like, what now?
He was done at that point. Like I think he was like already
Yeah.
kind of lost.
Once he
Because I
went
feel like
in,
Devin should have been able to
once he,
stop him from it.
I'm telling these fighters, they better stay away from these women. Stop getting married and shit, and settling down and shit, boy. Something about that good boy make motherfuckers weak. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah,
saying? Motherfucker are never the
Devin
same.
girl sending him through hell, man. She trying to don't want to let him see the baby. She was running behind crying over what it was, Young Thug. Man, she had my boy looking bad out here.
They said that was
Man,
old though.
that fool spent. Was it? That's the same girl he spent $300,000 on and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
That
Oh, I
boy's a
don't know.
simp.
Oh, probably did.
That,
But
that
he fell
boy's a
in love
damn
with,
simp. I
I think what got Devin, well, let me tell you how she got Devin. You know, the first girl Devin with was India Love, right? She an industry jump off. Everybody, all the rappers and all the streamers that had her. So Devin made a mistake
I
early
saw.
and was dealing with a thought. So he thought he hit the jackpot. He found him a Muslim girl and thought he found something different because she was Muslim. But he found out even the Muslims ratchet these days. And I think that messed him up. You know what I'm saying? I think he thought he had a real good woman.
No, I think Devin knew exactly who he was dating. Just King Judah.
I don't know,
Everybody
because
knew. Everybody knew who she was, bro. Everybody knew who she was.
I ain't hear about it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Because me, I don't keep up with the younger generation. I do a little bit now, so I knew who India Love was, right? So I never heard of this other chick. That's what
This
I'm
girl's
saying.
a
I ain't
known.
heard.
She's a known escort in the
Oh
industry.
shit.
Yeah,
Devin like
exactly.
freaks. I can't. And, again, look, I ain't just trying to defend Devin. I'm just being real as a man, right? He like freaks, and he got. That's a
Where he
problem I had to
from?
learn. I had to learn that too, because what I did was I like the freaks, and I kept getting messing with these chicks that was running around until my older cousin put me on game. He was like, "Well, bro, if you going for a girl because she a freak, they tell you that she not just a freak with you, she a freak with everybody." So that's the trade-off you got to make. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when it's time to settle down, you don't go for the freak. Devin got
Well,
to learn that,
that's
bro.
what he wanted to
Bill
have
know
his
that.
baby.
I
So.
get.
Bill know
Do Bill know that? Do Bill know that?
that.
He should. Wasn't he like a pimp or some shit? Come on now.
I don't
You have to
know.
pass
I
the game
don't know.
down, son. Goddamn, I guess the rules are
It's a
different
lot of
from
tricking going
1978.
on. It's been a lot of tricking going on.
I don't know. I don't take Bill for a trick though. Bill seems like he'll talk a chick out her drawers. He'll keep talking to you till he
We
get it.
talking
He
about
that type.
Devin.
Oh yeah,
He's suing his baby
Devin.
mama for $350,000 worth of gifts.
Devin ain't have
That's
to do all that, but that shit hurt me. When Devin
Yeah,
did that,
he'll
that
talk
shit
you
hurt
at
me,
your
bro.
draws if you pay him Greer. If you pay him Greer, maybe.
Yeah.
Cause these
Oh,
chicks, these
you
chicks
said his
ain't
game. You
playing.
said his game
These
don't work
chicks
no
ain't,
more. You saying Bill game don't work no more?
bro. Well, he got money now, but I mean, shit. You know what I'm saying? These girls don't want to hear that shit. They ain't trying to hear nigga
They
mouth no
don't.
more. You gotta come with that
They
cash.
don't. These young girls don't want to hear nothing game. These girls don't know, bro. These girls don't want to hear no
Bruh,
game at
nigga,
all.
don't talk to me. Pay me $50 and shit to get my name. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta pay them in the DMs. Poor. Let me tell you when I stopped dating, because now I got an age limit, because I used to like the little young chicks. When I stopped dating young chicks with one chick, she started flirting with me a little bit, just a little. She put the bait out there just a little bit for me, right? Just to pull King Judah in, right? So I went the DMs because I'm thinking it's all good. As soon as I said, "What's up?" the girl sent me her cash app. That's her letting me know you got a cash app to continue this conversation. That's when I was done. I said I can't mess with them under 25. I can't do
it. What they call it, whole tax.
Man, you gotta pay them to talk to them, bro.
Gotta pay to play, baby. Everybody want to be an escort. Yeah, you know, but rent high. You know what I'm saying? The young people, it's hard to live by yourself as a young person. You know what I'm saying? The rent 2,000, 1,600 some places, you know, if you want to live in a decent area and not get murked. You know what I'm saying? With security, you know, the cost of living is different now. It ain't like, you know, when I was younger and shit, you could live on your own and have one job, you know, but now shit is, you know, you can't send your kids out into the world. They got to stay home now until they can get their careers going.
Yeah, man, it's rough. It's rough, man.
Yes,
But
sir.
with this fight coming up, I do think that's the biggest fight. Do y'all think Yard stand any chance against Benavidez?
I
Hell
don't
no.
see it. Making it yard not good to me, really. Like, I don't see what everybody's talking about. I'm like, am I missing something? Like, maybe I need to go back and watch some yard fights. But what is Anthony Yard about to do to Benavidez? Like, somebody tell me.
Right. I like him because he got
Well,
hard,
like
though.
they
That's what I
said,
like about
y'all
him.
he don't like the spar, Judah. He don't like the spar. You know
Oh,
what I'm
that's a
saying? You
problem.
got the spar.
Oh, is that why he be looking like that in the ring?
No, he just
He
got too
look
much
like somebody that
band
don't
on him and
spar
shit.
either, because he gets sloppy. He gets sloppy quick. He'll start off looking,
Yeah.
put together. He'll get sloppy real quick. That's
He
how you
got a
know he
good
don't.
2 rounds. He got a good 2 rounds.
Yeah.
I don't like Anthony Yard for real.
I told you I got a theory about them braids and 2 cent nobody. I got a theory about them braids. Just saying.
What the
You know, they
theory
come
is?
in there with them pretty braids, them goddess braids. You know what I'm saying? They come in there looking all pretty, I'm just telling you, the niggas need to stay away from them shits. That shit ain't good, man. Coming in there
So they ain't
looking
got
too
no
cute.
God braids. They don't have God
Leave out of
braids.
there with 2 black eyes. That's what I'm saying, man. They coming in there trying to look too cute. I don't know what it is with the dudes nowadays. Trying to look prettier than the damn women. You know, they putting juice on their hair so the bitch be glistening. You know, all kind of shit. Niggas ain't used to put no juice on their damn braids so they be shiny and shit. You know, that's why he got this. That's why Tank got that shit in his eye. You know what I'm saying? Putting all that juice on the damn hair to be glistening. You know what I'm saying? It's like, God damn, boy, you setting your damn self up. You know, just go in there. Why didn't you just use regular Vaseline like every other nigga from the past? You know what I'm saying? No, you got to be fancy. You know what I'm saying? You got to put Jerry curl juice and what's that stuff you put in your head to? What's the stuff the girls put in their hair so it be stiffening and all that shit?
The spritz, that spritz. They don't do the spritz no more. They don't do the spritz no more.
You know what that stuff they put, you know, to shine your hair, you know, to make your hair
Yeah.
shiny and look full and all that. The guys are doing that shit now. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? One of them braids hit that eye and that nigga was fucked up. The shit was burning. Nigga had to take a knee. I'm saying that's what you get. That's what you get. You know what I'm saying? So Yard can't win, honestly. Said till he gets hit with that right cross uh to his temple. Man, David coming with the uppercuts.
Man, David
He's
gonna
coming with
stop
the uppercut.
Anthony Yard early too. I'm
Oh, yeah, he gonna
under
stop.
6, under 7. I'll put my money on under 7.
How many rounds did he go with Better Be? If he went, I forget. But he fought back. He fought all of them. You got to give it to Anthony. You know, he's a fighting motherfucker though. You know, he ain't afraid to get in the ring with him. You know, I forgot how many rounds he went Benavidez before he crashed and burned. You know, but shit, yeah, man. You know, but those are the top fighters right now. You know, right now. I don't know. I'm just not into the heavyweight division. You know, Usyk just he's a good fighter and everything, but
I mean, you got a
for some reason
cruiserweight
it's just
as
not
the
doing
best heavyweight. You got a cruiserweight as the best heavyweight right now, and
it.
nobody can beat this guy. No heavyweight can beat this cruiserweight. Like it's kind of
Who you
hard to
talking
be
about?
like the heavyweight.
What
Usyk.
cruiserweight you talking?
I
Oh,
mean, not cruiserweight.
Usyk heavyweight now, right?
A light heavyweight.
Heavyweight.
Yeah, he moved
He
up, but I'm
got
saying
undisputed
he's
at
not a heavyweight.
yeah, he was undisputed at cruiserweight, I believe. And
But
he moved up after he got undisputed there.
so
He
the
was
best
looking at Crawford
heavyweight
like, like that ain't shit.
is.
Yeah, Crawford, I don't
uh,
know why he like to mix it up with them boys. He like talking about like playing chess with them and all this kind of shit. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. It's all good.
I'm just gonna sit and wait
But
to see
Crawford
who
in the
Crawford fight.
limelight.
I mean, but
I
it's
know
like he
everybody
never
is,
does anything with the momentum. He just lets it die. Like he needs to be like,
Well, he used to keeping himself centered like that, like because I think somebody asked him in an interview that was like, Crawford, what's your life like now, and you got everything going on, and he was like, nothing. My life is the same. There's nothing's changed. I say, really? Say,
well,
really?
I need
You know what I'm
family.
saying? But he's delusional. He's talking about, I got Mexican fans out there too. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, this is just,
Do you see how
oh
he
my
keep
God.
thanking his Mexican fans? And I was asking Crawford fans like y'all, like why he just don't thank his fans in general? Or every time he talk about his fans, he talk about his Mexican fans. Like I don't understand that.
Because you always want the love from the ones that don't pay you no attention. That the ones, he already got, he figured he got his black fans. He don't care about them because he's used to them. But anytime you can add on, new fans, some of these guys, that's the way they are. You know, they want the white fans, they want the Mexican fans. Oh, I got Mexican fans too. I was like, them motherfuckers like boo, boo, booing the shit out his ass. I was like, don't sound like it. Mm-mm.
That was
It do
crazy.
not
Canelo got
sound
his
like it.
ass beat in front of all them people that was
I
there to see
know.
him.
And now, if you see the meltdown of different Mexicans on these different videos and stuff, the
I
meltdown,
haven't
they were
seen
going
it.
down to their knees.
They was
Oh my
crying.
God. You got to go to Vane channel. Man, he got all that shit on there with the motherfucker just melting down. It's a chick talking about keep Canelo name out your fucking mouth. And I was like, what's going on? It's like these motherfuckers are emotionally destroyed. You know,
Yeah, they
if I
was
was Crawford, I would
distraught.
keep security. Yeah, they are destroyed. Oh, Canelo! No, he
Wow.
beat Canelo. I was like, really, my nigga?
And he lost the decision. It's not like he
Really?
got knocked out.
I know, but they can't even. They just hate that he's been taken off the hill, the stature. They can't walk around with Canelo shirts all proud. You know, he's a defeated fighter now. He was a defeated fighter before. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get it.
Exactly.
I
It's
guess
his third
because
loss.
Crawford was out. Yeah, Crawford was out for a year and came and beat him. So I think the humiliation is in the details, right? Crawford out for a year, coming up 3 weight classes. It just makes him look bad. So it make it look
Mhm.
like that he was always protected. So his legacy, I
But
didn't think it would
how is
take a big
Terrence
hit,
Crawford is the
but it's
best
taken.
fighter ever?
That's because nobody really believes that shit, except for what Crawford says. Nobody really believes. mean, think about it. Everything around Bud, was delusional because of how he moved. It wasn't until he
Yep.
beat Earl Spence Jr. everybody started really taking a look at him. Was the shit real? So with not having that kind of record now, I think because boxing fans who watch the shit, they never gave him respect for the 140 shit or the shit Ricky Burns and all that and Postal. Even though those were big achievements for himself, they not until he won with Spence, nobody really gave a shit about Crawford. You know what I'm saying? So it's a big win for Crawford. You know what I'm saying? And I think I think you got to believe in yourself as a fighter. You got to be a little crazy and a little delusional, believing in yourself that you all that to go out and win big fights. You got to be a little crazy. And I think Crawford is all
Or
that.
calculated.
I think he's all that. Great. hmm One
Crazy and
channel's
calculated.
trying. Oh yeah. Oh, you talking about Marty? He talking about Marty.
He never said that man was a cheater.
I mean, I don't. He said snack works. That's what he said. Snack
Little
works,
thing
my
with all
nigga.
this shit about the
You know,
laptop.
do snack really work? I mean, shit. Don't,
You
don't
seen
sound
it?
like he
You
getting
seen
snack.
Bud?
Sound like he getting stuff.
You seen Bud look like he
Seen what
barely
now?
broke a sweat in
Yeah.
that fight. You seen Bud? He barely broke a sweat in that fight.
He Bud wasn't even breathing hard. But
You
then
feel me?
again, I
That's
keep telling
like
y'all, Canelo Canelo was skilled, but Canelo was never what people thought he was. And what did Mayweather say? Everybody say
but
Canelo, 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 but nobody said steroids, steroids, steroids. You know what I'm saying? And he said it was easy work. He was fake. Like, and I know that piss off Mexicans when they hear Floyd say that shit. He be saying it with attitude too. He was cake, man. He was easy. He was easy. It wasn't nothing to him. So that kind of like diminishes Bud win a little bit,
does
But
it? Because
Crawford
they're
said
saying Bud
he
is the
knew
top
he could
five all time great because of that win.
well, Bud said he knew he could beat Canelo before he even fought Canelo because he saw Laura, he saw Trout, he saw all the boxers, what I'm saying, that were fighting against him, what I'm saying, that they gave him trouble. And those were close fights if you think about it. You know what I'm saying? He said, I knew my style would give him nightmares. So just from looking at Canelo and how he fought, Crawford knew he could beat Canelo. Or he had an
But
idea that he could
but
beat
how did we
Canelo.
know? How did he know he could take Canelo's power though, Paul? You telling me Canelo punching, knocking them big dudes down, doing all that, and then Bud could just come up there and take 71 body shots from Canelo?
Hey, it is what it is. Cause I thought Canelo was gonna be on some shit too. But yeah, BDA, yeah, BDA, boy, that motherfucker there. That's the channel I went to on the night on the night that they lost, and I went and listened in. Cause I knew they were gonna be on some
Oh, what they
bullshit.
were
But
saying?
his channel, oh my God, man, just he didn't really beat up Canelo. He was running. All that
He
shit.
was
You know what
right.
I'm saying? Crawford, I thought they didn't count Canelo rounds. They didn't give Canelo his rounds. I thought he won at least 7 rounds. And just all
I,
kind of shit. I was just like, oh God. I was listening to that shit. Now you had a few Mexicans came through there and they were keeping it real and they got their ass up out of there quick. Oh, you coming in
uh,
disrespectful. You no, you out. No, you come in respectful. Don't be disrespectful. I was like, oh my God, they should have drowned out all the real people up in here, you're disrespectful. And they kicked their ass out. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who came in there, I'm sorry to say this, but Canelo got his ass kicked. You said ass. You disrespectful. Get out. I was like, BDAs, man, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? But they were highly emotional. It was like a funeral over there.
that's
But
funny.
people was
Yeah,
trying
they're
to.
gonna be the
There was a few people that was trying to give him his props. They really couldn't get it off. Give Crawford it because they just did. They was like, how you try to be in denial, you in denial and shit, and they wasn't ready. They wasn't ready for that. They wanted to bitch and complain some more, and get their little nitpicks in. Crawford,
right.
Crawford, Canelo's old, and Canelo's, he's been through too many wars, and I heard all that shit. I was like, man, I was like, these motherfuckers are hurt. It hurt. You know what I'm saying? I understand it. I've been fucked up like that before. I understand it. What you say? Live quality sports says Canelo fans trying to act like Canelo got knocked out the ring like Bernard Hopkins versus Joe Smith, which was embarrassing. I must say. I must say that was really embarrassing. But it couldn't happen to a better idiot. You know, um, he was being
Why you
he was
calling me
being a
idiot?
lot of because he be acting like an idiot, man. I can't stand to listen to Bernard Hopkins talk. It's like listening to a
Do he
parable.
be serious?
I'm saying
Do
that
he be serious?
like the dumbest parable. It's like the dumbest parable that you ever heard in life. He always speaking these riddles and shit. Don't be meaning shit. He's like, God damn,
He's
bro.
so
I
deep.
said shit.
He's
I'm
so
like, come
deep.
on, could you get it out? I'm so glad he ain't around no more. I just got tired of listening to him. He be talking slow like
He is around, but
55.
not Hopkins is around.
Yeah, but even when they ask him to comment, I'll be like, oh, I just scroll up. You know, yeah, I think if you think about the last few years of a surmountable task of, you'd be like, shut up, man. Just he just be taking his time, like trying to just savor the moment. You'd be like, shut up, man. Just shut your ass up. Live Quality Sports says, I wonder what co-main event or undercard Paul versus Tank will be. It would probably be some women or something. Now, that's one thing I can
It's
say
two
about Paul.
women
He put the
cards and
women on.
Russell on there. Russell on there. I put the fight up on my Baumgartner on the card. Gary Antoine Russell on the card. Who else?
Yeah,
Let
you
me
put it
see.
up.
Yeah, I put it up on my community
Hmm.
page. And
Bumgarner. Okay.
Baumgartner dropped her belt because
Yeah,
Mauricio
I
Suleiman was
saw
at the
that.
WNBA because she's about to fight
I
a
saw that.
3 minute
I was like,
fight. She wants to fight a 3 minute fight, and I guess she had to drop her belt in order to do that.
hmm. I was like, why is
Gary
she drop
Russell
it? When
versus Andy Hirioka. Ellie Scottney versus Mavelli Flores. Alicia Baumgartner versus Layla Boudin. That's the undercard.
I don't know. Do you like Carolyn DeBose? DeBoris, or however you say her last name?
The black girl?
Hmm. Caroline, you seen
Um,
her fight before, right? Carolyn DeBoris. Man, she bad,
I
man.
gotta see. Let me
I
see.
think she just as bad as Carissa Shields, bro. She fight like a dude. She fight quick as a dude. I mean, she got that dude style. I mean, she quick, fast. She fight beautifully, man. I like shit. That's girl. I don't know if Bub Gardner want to fuck with that chick right there. I think she's a weight class above her. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
think
I
she
know who you're
want none
talking
of
about.
that, bro. That chick, I think she British and shit. I think she's from England or some shit. But she
Yeah, she
is,
can.
ooh, man, that girl is nice. Ooh, I was
What
like, I
weight she at?
don't know. Say that
What weight
again.
she at? What weight is she at?
I think she had 135, I do believe. 135 or 130, somewhere up. I know she's not in Bumgarner, what, 126? You know,
No, I
let me
think
see.
Baumgartner with
I think she,
130, 135.
yeah,
I
that's
think
what I was
Baumgartner
saying.
130.
What I'm saying? I think she at 135. I think Bumgarner at 130. She don't want none of that girl. That's why I was saying she's headed that way. And man, that girl is. Whew,
She
I
framing
don't
and
see
pinning
nobody beating
people.
her.
Yeah,
Say
she
what
fight.
now?
She boxing. She framing and pinning people. She boxing.
Man, that girl there is she highly skilled. Like she on another level. I don't even know if Carissa fuck got the skills she got. That girl there is polished.
She too
Like,
small.
like
Oh, you talking about you think she got better
you
skills?
know, yeah. Caroline divorce. Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched in a while, but when I saw her, I was like, man, I'm gonna watch her. Get on that right there.
She look like she got more pop than Shields,
Mm.
so she can fight. You know,
Oh, you watch?
Clarissa Shields got them fast combos and shit, cause she got to keep people off of her. So she good at counter punching and throwing them fast combos.
Man, Carissa got that. She got some crazy stamina. You know,
That's some
her
crazy moves.
stamina, man. I mean, she just pulls some energy out from nowhere, man. She just be rip it to the body, man. She's something else, man. As an athlete, damn. I was like, man, she be getting it in. She be digging deep. And I like
Mhm.
when women fight because they so emotional and shit. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause when they get hit, they be trying to kill
They're
your ass instead of
aggressive.
coming back.
Women are aggressive. They're
Mhm.
aggressive.
That's what I like about Shields, because she be you hear her screaming in the ring. You know, she be like growling and shit in the ring. I love that about Carissa. And then she take the challenges. So, she keep fighting. She keep challenging herself too. You know,
Yeah,
I like that she found somebody that's going, somebody that's going to be there for her, because she be going through a lot of shit. That Papoose
yeah,
guy, I think it'd be
yeah.
good for her.
We'll
You don't know
see.
about that?
No, because it's
Well,
almost
as
kind of
long as
like
she stay away.
it's like you the rebound chick, really.
Well, as long as she stay away from Remy Marker, I hear she ain't good, but I hear a
You
lot of
know,
bad
Remy
things
Martin
about
already
her.
went to jail for stabbing one of her own friends. If she don't play.
Hmm. Yeah, that's ugly. You know, that is ugly. But I think we that was pretty good live for today. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, thank you for dropping in, and 2 Cent, thank you for dropping in with your knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
We
all
don't
right.
always agree on everything. It wouldn't be a fun show if we agreed on everything. You know what I'm saying?
Of course,
Um,
man. Of course.
thank you, T Mac. Thank you, 300 for coming through. We'll build back up. You know what I'm saying? Once we keep coming in, everybody see my lines and stuff. So, I'm not even worried about that. Y'all know I don't be here for that anyway. You know what I'm saying? So live says Carissa is going to have to come down and wait to fight bigger names, no names at heavyweight, a bunch of nobodies. Well, it's women's boxing, so it's going to be a group. I do believe it's going to be a crew. Once women boxing get up there, I think it's going to have the other athletes come in, and instead of one or two women racking up all the undisputeds all over the damn place, But the ones we got can fight, the ones we got. But peace out, everybody. Said full kind of boxing is back in effect, and we're gonna be getting it in, bro. You know how we do. And oh yeah, I'm gonna cover that fight. I'm gonna cover that fight, the Jake Paul fight. We'll look at that shit, you know what I'm saying, and see, what it looked like, you know. hmm Which says something about champion makers till they switch the race narrative. All right, y'all. Peace out. See you guys uh either Friday, or if I could get in another live stream, I'll put it out there so you guys can hopefully keep your notifications on, and see you guys in the next live stream. Peace out, y'all.